All right, good morning, everybody. If you can hear me and if the mic sounds good, hit that number 1, please. Again, if you can hear me and the mic audio sounds of quality. Trucking, Kevin, Sherry, Evil, Ty Hoover. All right, perfect. Very good. Okay, very quickly before we hop in, for those of you that watch the archive, thank you very much. This is completely viewer supported though, so if you want to have something to continue to watch in the archive, then code Clay, all caps, with any of these prop firms. Not only will save you money because whatever the current promotions are at any of these prop firms, code Clay will give that for you. So you're saving yourself some money, but you're also helping to support something and ensure that it continues. Because like I said, this is totally viewer supported. There's no sponsorships or anything like that. So for everybody that has used code Clay, thank you very much. You're definitely making a difference. I recommend, I love Take Profit Trader, especially if you're a beginner to the prop firm space, but I do understand people are at various journeys and various stages and stuff like that. So any of these prop firms is how you can help support the stream. All right. Well, definitely remind me at 11. We need to talk. It's been a while since we've needed to talk, but we definitely need to talk. It's bad, not disastrous. Not disastrous. It's bad though, but not disastrous. So but like I said, I want to talk about it at 11 to set up context, just so that if people kind of ask how. Yeah. In case people ask how the day went or how the day's going, I can just refer them back to that timestamp. So, hey, good morning, Rodrigo. Hey, AMS. Let's see, Sam. Good morning, James. I think I mentioned everybody else. Don't worry, we'll forget. I know. Last week, you guys were supposed to remind me a couple times, and then you never did. So we'll see. Trailing 24 currently stop at 21. All right, Booger. Good job. Oh, I never did do my official intro. I knew something felt off. But officially, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, June 8th. The year is 2026. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend. Friday was crazy here. So, who here has heard of Max Velocity? Max Velocity. He's a weather dude on YouTube. Has anybody heard of Max Velocity? No? Nobody? Okay. Well, anyways. Hey, Jimbo. So, Max Velocity, basically like a YouTube weather guy. And he'll track just whenever there's severe weather, he'll track storms and stuff like that. Look at this breakout. Wow. Yeah, good breakout here. But anyways, long story short, Max Velocity covers the entire United States. Friday night, he was literally calling out the name of my town, the town that's like a couple suburb other towns. Because, there's like a tornado spotted in the town, I don't know, 15 miles from where our town is at. So Friday night, that's just my long way of saying Friday night was spent, our TV's in the basement anyways, which is where you want to go for tornadoes or severe weather and stuff like that. So we had a tornado warning. So anyways, Friday, and it kind of came out of nowhere too. So Friday night was not necessarily what I expected, but went to the kids' track meet. It was beautiful, sunny. And then when we got home, we were doing our movie night. And, Dad, I think I heard thunder. And, yeah, long story short, it rained. And pretty sure I've never seen anything like that in my 43 years on planet Earth. I just kept watching the radar. And the storm just wouldn't budge. It just, was hovering around this general vicinity. So the rain, then there's flash flooding alerts. There's a huge creek on our property that is massive. The banks of it is a big, creek. And, when it's low and then you're standing on the bottom and you look up, it almost feels like the kids feel like they're climbing a mountain to get out of the creek bed. That thing was filled to the top, starting to flood. It was quite the Friday evening. And then from there, had people over yesterday after church. And hey, Jimbo was over yesterday with some other family, so that was a good time. But yeah, hopefully you all had a good weekend. I got absolutely cooked on Friday. Yeah, Black Magic. I saw some crazy stuff on Twitter, and it looks like it's some real results, but I think there's also some weird stuff going on. Like, well, yeah, but how much money did you spend before this thing happened? Some of you probably know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'd be very curious on that number, because even the brokerage statements were saying like this was like the first day, so like he funded it. So it's like, well, how many accounts did you fund with $100,000 that you cooked before this trade finally took place? I don't know. We don't have that number. Anyways, my point is Friday was crazy. In fact, Friday was a record-setting day in terms of points, not percentages. Like I said, we have to talk at 11. So I did not cook anything. I did not cook any accounts on Friday. Granted, Friday afternoon, I gave back a lot of gains for my one with my MNQ trading. But without offering up spoilers, but kind of spoiling, I may or may not have had done some cooking this morning. So I lost 4.5K with 5. Oh, no. Yeah, Black Magic. That's what I mean. That's why, if I remember right, I might be confused with somebody else, but I think you're the guy that says you do both. You do props and personal account. But right there, I'm sorry to hear that. That is exactly why. All it takes is a day like Friday. And yeah, 4.5K, that's no joke. Money does not grow on trees. So sorry to hear that. Last night was crazy when the market opened. There were some crazy candles. Yeah, I did not see the market at open, but okay. So that is crazy though, Philly. Hey, good morning, Pam. Friday's numbers were expected. Friday's numbers were expected though. I'm not sure what numbers you're referring to. Like I would suggest that there's a whole lot of hindsight confirmation bias. If you're like, oh yeah, Friday was expected that we would have a record-setting amount of points down day. I'm not sure anybody. No, sure, I have no problem believing some people maybe expected a red day, but like I don't. But again, that's why I'm not quite sure what you mean by Friday's numbers were expected. What numbers? Hey Ace, good morning. I longed at fib targets after 800-point drop and it dropped. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Jonesy. Yeah, that played a role in many people's thinking, myself included. Oh, okay. All right. Threw me off for a second. Okay. I think I even made the comment. When we were down 650, I'm like, I don't know, we're already down 650. So that was also a reason why I didn't really want to short either, because I'm like, well, there's no way we're dropping more. We're already down 650 points. And, oh, yeah, that would have been a good short. All right. Even today, though, today has also been very cookable. These moves here are no joke. Are no joke at all. In fact, I made an alert to the private community, which was ultimately a good alert, maybe. And the maybe depended on, well, did you have your position size right? Because if you went too big in position size, unfortunately, because today is still very volatile, the amount, when you look at the chart, it looks like the price barely dropped below kind of the level that I had marked out. And it didn't. It didn't move that far below it. But when you equate that distance to the points, it's like, well, geez, you would have gotten cooked if you had too much size. Carl, I'm still confused about what you meant. You said the numbers were expected on Friday. What numbers are you referring to? What? This morning, Philly, or last night at the Open? No, I don't. I don't think the jobs number was expected, because it came out stronger than expected. Yesterday, oh, that's always annoying. All right, I might try a short here. I know that sounds crazy, but with this candle here forming, might take a swing at it. And I am taking a swing at it. I am short. Made them move up. And then when I got short, it was starting to fluctuate and come back down. So maybe this is some sort of fake breakout type move here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. A little bit more, brother. All right, I'm out there. Hesitated. Yeah, there's definitely me going against the overall trend aspect. Now, I think that the trend is about to take a breath. Therefore, I think I'm going with the trend in the sense of I think the overall trend is about to take a breath. Okay, Carl, now your name now your name is remembering. This is the guy where I sometimes question and I think you're a bot, and now I'm remembering why. You like just keep saying, but like this isn't fun if people don't interact with. Like I have a genuine question. You said the what do you? Okay, the Dow Jones what Dow Jones numbers? Like you expected it to be record-setting death that was expected on Friday? Is that what you're saying? I think you were super far behind. Black match. A couple times? Like a couple dozen? Or just a couple? Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, in my opinion, I don't think anybody expected Friday to get that bad. Yeah, no, yeah. That's why I started off the whole conversation with kind of the suggestion that I think he may have some hindsight confirmation bias within his analysis of things. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Held a little bit there, but even with the uptrend, it'll dip like 80 points. Yeah, that's exactly evil, and that's my point about moves where you can look at a chart, can see, oh, that was a nice little healthy pullback. And broadly speaking, just from without looking at any numbers, just looking at the chart, oh yes, that looks like a healthy pullback. But when you have these sorts of movements where not that like a candle that size is still worth like 40 points, well then yeah, a nice small modest pullback could still be 20, 25, 30 points. And if your position size is wrong, you're cooked. Okay, I think I just misunderstood, not Carl. I thought you were saying like before Friday started, you expected it to be like a record-setting down day. Hey! Yeah, I was over to there on Saturday, yeah, and the basement was wet. Yeah, I don't know. Sam thought maybe a breaker or like something for the sub pump tripped, because like the sub pump didn't run at all, so it was plugged in. So I don't know if something tripped or what, but yeah, the basement was wet, and I'm sick. I'm getting sick of the basement getting water in it. Hey, JS. I'll probably see you today, Robert, because we're meeting up with Sam over there. So I'll try not to distract you with stock talk though, or any sort of trading talk. Hey, Sugar. We got Sugar. We got Sugar back. The only person in my life who's ever caused me to call another guy Sugar. Well, yeah, no, right. I see what you're saying, Carl. You expected a red day. Fair enough. But you're not. I am unconvincible that you expected the price to drop 1,400 points. That I do not believe you. That you're like, oh yeah, I expected it to drop 1,400 points. I'm on the back. All right, work hard, fellas. Work hard. The boss is coming later, and by the boss, I mean not me. I mean the kneecap breaker, and by the kneecap breaker, I don't mean me. I mean the missus. All right, 1 minute, and then I got to go into the day because I think there's some good lessons there. But also, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I agree there, Carl. I mean, I guess in hindsight, sure. That's kind of my point. It's like all the bad things that happened, but it's just like, but wait a second, a strong jobs report, how is that bad, right? You know what I mean? But I do agree. Once we saw how the market reacted, yeah. Well, I mean, things were bad. Well, were they bad, or had the market gone up, Carl? Would we be sitting here having the conversation that, oh well, yeah, I expected that to be green because all the good things that were going on. No, no, yeah, I disagree that it had anything to do with SpaceX. We had this conversation quite a bit on Friday. Like, I'm sorry, but big money, which would need big money that was clearly either getting liquidated or selling. Big money was not selling because, okay, let's go. We need cash for the SpaceX IPO. Like, they're big money, they're smart money for a reason. They're not buying alongside retail on IPO day. Like investment bankers, big banks, they've already helped fund the deal behind the scenes. They've gotten preferred share inside, all that sort of stuff. So like they're not no big banks are like, no, I fully believe I would accept. Like, yeah, little granny, she probably sold some because she needs to prep for the SpaceX IPO, so she had to free up some capital. But like that's little granny, right? That's not going to be. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to be convinced that Goldman Sachs is dumping positions so that they can get ready to buy SpaceX alongside retail traders. Okay, 11. Timestamp. All right. Let's wait until we get to 18 minute. That way I can send people to the 18 minute mark. And then we have to have a chat. We have to talk. It was bad today, not disastrous, but bad. But also, there's some good learning lessons here, too, of why I preach what I preach. Okay, so my day, not good. I'll just we'll work backwards. Two accounts cooked. This is a test account that I'm on, and I'll explain exactly why. So day started off beautifully. Made some trades, was up 1100, and on a test account needed 400 to pass. And on a day like today with this sort of movement, 400. I mean, as I talk out loud, you almost reveal things yourself. Maybe this was part of my problem. I'm like, all right, I got this, no problem. This is kind of easy, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, long story short, 400 away, which was close. On a day like today, 400 is actually close. Now, if it was a super slow day, then it's like, okay, 400 is actually pretty far away because things just aren't moving. But on a day like today, 400 might as well have been $40, which is how much movement today was. But that account I cooked it. So I was basically ready to pass, and I got it cooked. So, and I've talked about this before, and this is my psychology. If I'm going to cook an account, I'd rather just cook a test account like first trade. But there's nothing more tilting for me than when I have a little bit of time into an account and I'm close to passing and then I cook it. So that is extremely tilting. Whereas I'm not going to say that I don't get irritated if I have a brand new test account and then I cook it the first trade. I'm just saying it is way more irritating when you have a little bit of time invested, you're close to passing, and then you cook it. So right then and there, did not start off good. However, this is the power of, and this is why I like prop firms. Because at this choice, or at this moment in my journey, where I know that I'm irritated, do I fire up do I put on a pro account? Or do I'm like, all right, let's make sure that I've not completely lost my mind, because I might have lost my mind. Or do you fire up another test account? Which is good, because if you do well with your test account, then at least you're still making progress. Because I could see somebody saying, well, I'll just fire up a total demo account. And for me, that doesn't do it, because if I then go do well in a demo, it's like, okay, well, I've made literally zero progress because those gains that I see contribute to absolutely really nothing in terms of progress towards getting the payout. So fired up, fired up a pro account. No, not a pro account. Fired up a test account. Was a good choice because first trade cooked it. Gone. Gone. See you later. I'm like, okay, that wasn't good. That was not good. At least it wasn't a pro account though. But Clay, I think you have officially lost your mind for the day. So once again, I have a choice, and this was a good thing. Do I fire up a pro account, or do I just let's just get another test account going? And this is the account that I got going. I think I'm reeling it back in. I will say this was a very aggressive trade. Was that a good trade? Maybe that was a good trade. I don't know, but I am open to the idea if I were to go back and really look at it. That was just my tilt continuing, and I finally got one where it worked out, and now here we are. So I am on a test account. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any pros today. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But that is the current status, and this is also I would say the key lesson is make sure you have the luxury to do what I did today. Meaning, in no way, shape, or form do I need to trade the pro account. Why? Well, because as I always preach, multiple streams of income. I don't need to literally make money from the market today. I don't need a payout today from anything because I have multiple streams of income. Whereas if trading is literally your only stream of income, then if that was my spot, that is a very hard thing to want to resist. Why? Because I need a payout. This is my only stream of income. So yes, I'm kind of tilty. I'm kind of lost my mind. But because I need the money, I guess I got to trade. That's so bad. That is how things really, really spin off the rails, and why full-time trader defined as your only stream of income is coming from trading has a train wreck written all over it for moments like this. So within the bigger picture, the thing that I have done that I'm proud of myself, and I realize I'm beating a dead horse because you guys have heard me say this many times before, but like build multiple streams of income. That should be your goal. Your goal should not be, I want to be a full-time trader. Again, full-time trader defined as my only stream of income is coming from trading. Your goal should be, how do I create as many streams of income for myself as possible? And then when you have that, you can kind of just tap the brakes and not totally lose my mind. So that's where I say, yeah, today's been bad. I don't like to cook accounts. And I cook two very quickly, right? I mean, if you guys have Take Profit Trader, you know how it is to fire up another account. It's almost like they're like, let's get this guy another account as quickly as possible because we know he's kind of, So that is the status. It's been a while. The other good thing that I'll say is it's been quite a while. Now, I did cook a couple of accounts last week, but nothing. Today was just different. But this has also been an environment where, like, it is easy to cook accounts. It is easy to cook accounts, and it showed up today. Friday, the amount of accounts that people, and shout out to the chat that were just being transparent about accounts that were getting cooked was a lot. And I understand why. Yeah, again, Friday was a record-setting day. And one of those days where, like, just when it was like, there's no way it goes down more. We're already 600, 700 points down. I was like, oh, yeah? We got another 700 points in us. So, but yeah, I guess my turn was today. So somehow escaped Friday. No cooked accounts, but today got me. So, for this guy's always green, there we go. Not always green. But that's also where again, I'm not saying people do this, but like you gotta just be careful. Because did I have to actually disclose any of that? Could I have just started and talked about from here? I could have. But no, so I'm not always green. There was cookage this morning. Yeah, getting into trading right now, Robert, is kind of like I was telling you, the prop firm thing. Futures, for like a lot of reasons. One reason being no pattern day trader rule, so you can trade as much as you want. And then more so within the prop firm, because if you do something really dumb, like when I got into trading, and even back until 3 or 4 years ago, if I had a really bad day and did something really, so let me put it this way: if I behave the way I behave today, because I cooked 2 accounts and they were both 50K accounts, that means in order to cook an account, you'd have to lose 2,000 within the test phase. So based on the way I acted today, I would have lost at least $4,000 of my money. So I'll just use, if this was you, Robert, and you behaved the way I behaved today, you would have lost minimum $4,000. And I only say minimum because if you're using your own money, like they only kick you out when your account is liquidated. So had I had $3,000 in the accounts, then I would have lost even more money. The only reason why it was $4,000 for me is because that's just the drawdown. That's the rule. Don't lose more than $2,000. So had this been you, you would have lost $4,000 of your own money today. But the prop firm route, so had you done prop firms, you would have spent $119 on the one prop account, and then you would have cooked it, and then you could have reset it for, meaning tried again for another $100. So basically, $219 you would have lost today versus potentially $4,000, if not more. So that's why prop accounts are so powerful, because they insulate your risk. Because really bad days are annoying. Like nobody wants to cook an account, but as somebody that has lost thousands of dollars in a day before because I go into baboon mode, I'd much prefer to just cook a couple of accounts. So yes, and then the massive ROI. But that's more so the upside. Like I said, my core argument has always been, because at the end of the day, risk management is actually the key to trading, which it's the most boring topic to talk about, but it is the key thing. And this is a good example of that, because like I said, had any of you behaved the way I did, then you would have been down over $4,000 of your own funds. Whereas where I'm at now, $219. Clay, thanks to you, I have 5 almost. Well, I mean, thank you, sir. I don't know. I don't think I played a very big role in that. I appreciate the. I'll take 0.0001% credit. But since you're the guy pressing buttons and making decisions, I'm going to give you the remaining 99.9999999% credit. So good job, brother. And thank you for using code Clay. I appreciate that. Good morning, Clay. I cooked in an email last night. I got over. Yeah. I did not see anything W4, but Philly was saying it got pretty crazy. And now look at us just grind. So I'm kind of continuing to talk what we've been talking about. First off, it's good questions, it's good conversation, it's helpful. But like I don't know. Look at this thing, just green. So to go long right now seems very undisciplined, like I'm chasing the price. To go short right now seems very undisciplined, like I'm just shorting into like a slow bleed upwards. Yeah, I'm with you, Blackout. This grinding. Yeah. All right, Ninja. All right. Well, first off, thanks for using code Clay. Second question. Have you ever traded futures before? If no, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Whatever you used to trade, you're going to look at that stuff and be like, man, that stuff really was like paint drying. So I guess to kind of just wrap up where I'm at right now, I'm kind of in a little bit of a rehab mode. Like I need to make sure that I don't want to go, because I've been there before where I've cooked multiple pro accounts in a day, and that is very irritating. Very irritating. And I want to make sure that I'm not in that mindset. And once again, this is all possible, and why I encourage multiple streams of income. Because I have the luxury of not needing to trade in the sense of needing to get a payout. Just last week, been doing stocks and crypto years ago. Okay, all right, yeah. Well, let me know your thoughts on the futures trading compared to crypto and stocks. I have a sneaky suspicion. I know your answer, but we'll see. It was a nasal session, and there were some wicked spikes. Yeah, W4. That's what I heard. I did not see anything, but Philly was telling us that last night's session got pretty crazy. But hey, W4, when you look at how much you lost within your account to blow it, isn't that a good feeling to know that that's not actually how much came out of your pocket? You know what I mean? All right, I might try short here. Failed move up. I'm short. Here's my first target. If we get close, I'll get my stop in to break even, but we are not close right now. How do I define close? Somewhere down around here. I am currently like, there's no way this thing can't take at least a little bit of a break here, but we know I'm well aware this thought process can be Can be sketchy. Practicing last week was up 5. Yeah, well, I think you already know this, but be careful. Like, I was up $5,000 on a total demo account last week because, demo accounts, there are no voices that show up. And that's ultimately what trading's about. Yes, risk management, but more so risk management of the voices in your head. And there are no voices if there's no skin in the game. But it's weird. That's what I like about prop firms, because they don't take a lot of money, but like for a little bit of money, they sure do a good job of getting the voices to show up so you can begin to deal with the voices. Okay, come on down. Okay, not quite close enough for me to adjust this stop anymore. Come on, make that little push. One more. All right, there we go. Hey, what was that? Okay, so now this will either be small green trade, or who knows how big of a green trade if this. Oh, okay. So small green to the tune of like $7. But the mechanics were there. I had myself positioned, had that thing, decided to continue to drop. Then who knows? Who knows how much it would have added up, but it didn't. As you saw, it bounced back up, took me out, and it is what it is. Are we bearish on NASDAQ now? Yeah, I'm bearish just with the logic of surely some sort of bigger pullback needs to happen. But that is also a way that can lead to many paper cuts. Took my first payout on Tradeify. Hey, all right, JSR. Congrats, and thank you for using code Clay. Yeah, it was awesome feeling only out 300 total, but could have. Yeah, exactly. Could have been 5,000. Yeah. And the thing with that W4 is it actually could have been more than 5,000 because, like I said, in your accounts. So I'll just show this. I mean, this is how it could have been when there's no anything. So here's a member from a while ago, and again, nothing but to respect. But he was using his own funds, and when it's your own funds, they will let you stay in a trade until they need to liquidate you. So like it doesn't just stop at minus 2,000 like it would on a prop firm, for example. And here, this member lost $53,800 in one trade. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, broke a rule, and it was just rough. And that this was the trade that sent him into the prop firm space. He's like, okay, now I understand the risk management role because that wiped away a lot. That wiped away a lot of his progress in one trade, just like that. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen for sure every single time, but all I'm saying is that if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time with your own funds, and I've been there before over the years, like it can get bad. It can get bad. Don't get me wrong. It can still get bad in prop firms. I'm just saying, to lose $53,000 in a day on prop firms, it is possible, but you would have to make a conscious effort to be like, all right, I'm going to roast like 400 accounts today. Again, it's possible, but I mean, that would take a lot of effort. And I would like to think somewhere along the line there, you'd at least get lucky. At least get lucky and have like some good trades. But you could have gone long on Friday. Yeah, exactly. Friday was one of those days where I don't know anybody, and I guess I don't know this for sure, but I think statistically, we can say there are at least 7 people in this world. 7 people that cried, literal tears, because they were using their own funds. They had thousands of dollars in their account. They're like, I'm going to start buying now because we're down a lot. And, and then they broke a rule. Maybe they didn't honor stop. Maybe they added to the position and they lost their entire accounts of thousands upon thousands upon at least 7. I got to think there's at least 7 people in the world that Friday cried because they lost thousands. I mean, let's be real. There is some sort of somebody out there, big bank, big money, that had to have lost at least $1 million minimum. Well, I lost 6,000 today. NASDAQ rejected, and I looked away for an hour on my short. Well, basketball. Hopefully, like, are you in a prop trader, or are you saying that like I trade my own funds and I lost 6,000 of my own funds? Maybe if you don't mind, can you just lie to me and tell me, oh no, I just mean prop firms, because I don't want to think about you losing $6,000 of your own money. Made $10. Hopeful my free play at the casino. What do you mean fortunate? Oh, sorry. I thought you said unfortunately in a prop. I'm like, wait a second. What do you mean? But you said fortunately. And I like that attitude. I like that attitude. But still, because the but still implies that you're not out here being a DJ and you're treating it seriously. You're learning as you should. So that I like those words. Yeah, but still, it's not fun. Agreed. But you also don't seem like you're beating yourself up too bad, which prop firm traders can tend to do. Oh man, I'm the worst trader ever. I give up. I've cooked. This is my third account I've cooked. I'm like, wait a second. What do you mean your third account? That's nothing. That's nothing. Because you cooked accounts, Neil, or just because you're adding to the empire? Well, I mean, I'm willing to buy a pullback because I can see this is an uptrend, but I'm going to need a bigger pullback than that. Even this pullback here didn't even come close to the 21 EMA. Okay, good, Neil. I like that answer. If you're using code Clay because you're adding to the empire, I like that. Because that means from the business sense, you'll be able to use code Clay that much more down the line. But as despite what some people may think, please use code Clay if you blew up accounts. Don't get me wrong, but like that's not from my business stance. That's not going to be sustainable for me because unless you have a money tree out back, right? My incentive is I want people to succeed. It does me no good for you to just continually blow stuff up, even if you're using code Clay, because eventually you'll run out of money and then you won't use code Clay. But if you can grow the empire and stuff like that, that's good. That's good for everybody. Yeah, no, you're going about it the right way. It's the people that cook a bunch of accounts and then seem to laugh about it, not care about it, not learn anything from it. And it's like, I'm definitely glad you're in a prop firm, but I don't think you're going to have this. All this means is you're on the pace to really never learn. All right, maybe a pullback here. My voices are too big. Yeah. My voices got big, a little too big for me this morning. Like I said, this morning was bad. Not disastrous, but bad. Hey, Clay, what would be disastrous? Cooking multiple pros. Had I cooked this account too? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think about how that would... I'd probably have tried again. Probably. But I know people who are on their sixth batch of 50K accounts. Yeah, that's the stuff though I think those people are just pushing too much. Like, I don't even think it's copy trading, but if like you're newer to futures and new to the prop firm space and you come out of the gates and you're just like insisting you have to copy trade, or else you're kind of on a cold streak and you keep cooking accounts, it's like, stop copy trading the accounts. Like, just take one, put yourself in a rehab in a sense, and then once you prove that you're out of baboon mode, then go back to copy trading. So yeah, JSR, that's too aggressive. The biggest thing I've learned is that taking $50 base hits. Yeah, that's fair point. That's a good observation, W4. I bought 6 and copy trade in batches of 2. Yeah. So that is copy trading, but in some senses it's not copy trading, because at least you're dividing your copy trading up. I think I'm not sure exactly what JSCR means. I don't know if he means that they're copy trading all of them at once, but yeah, you got to be, especially on days like today, where again, I know I keep saying that, but we are in a very volatile time right now. Friday, and then carrying it over into today. I might be trying to long. I know we're close enough here to there where it makes me potentially open to the idea, and I am long. Beautiful candle here. Took one out there. So let's get my stop into green territory. Put my next target at highs, just in case it decides to like double top on me up there. At least I can take another profit off. So if it can push up through there, then I'll still have one to enjoy the party. And again, on days like today, one can still add up surprisingly quick. So this will be a green trade, just trying to figure out how big of a green trade. And the reason why I know it's a green trade is because my stop is now up above the red line. Well, Clay, you don't know because what happens if Trump tweets something? And that's true. So I guess I don't know for sure this will be green. But assuming that nothing, crazy haywire happens, such as Trump just tweeting something out and then there's massive slippage, this will be a green trade. I just rotate accounts, take one trade on 4 to 6 cents each day, but yeah. What? All right. So again, I'm struggling right now to get any sort of follow through on these, but it is what it is. Yeah, I was just referring to copy trading. Like if you are, copy trading 20, so just the 20 Apex accounts, and then you cook them, and then you just get 20 more and copy trade all 20 of those, and then you cook those, and you get. I mean, that's kind of like not. But yes, if you buy 20 accounts and then you break them up into like batches, 4 batches of 5, it's like, yeah, you're copy trading still, but at least you have some diversification within the copy trading itself. All right, we are now officially getting close to the green line right here, which is the 21 EMA. And if you're new to the stream, I like the 21 EMA, so I'm interested. Yeah, there's a point where you kind of just got to be like, maybe 20 trades or maybe 20 accounts at a time is a little aggressive. I have not given any update. No, Ace, but believe it or not, one of the electricians. So we are in new territory here. So I met the electricians last week. One of them, I could tell was into the market, like he was talking some lingo. So long story short, told him about the YouTube channel. He was here, and now he just told me today. He gave me an update and said that right now, I don't know if it's still true, but as of like 30 minutes ago, I was on the loudspeakers at the new build right now. So the electricians are listening to me as I live stream. So I can say nothing but good things about electricians. You know what I mean? So I am very biased right now. Electricians are the most beautiful individuals I've ever seen. Best looking. They are flawless human beings. I wish I could be an electrician. There is not a single negative thing that I can think about in regards to electricians. That's how, so yes. But yeah, things are going well. Like I said, Ruffin's getting figured out. We got the utility sink, the laundry room sink delivered today by freight because my wife got this thing is a piece. It's over 200 pound cast iron because we're going to doing like the farmhouse look. So freight shipping for a sink. But yeah, showed up in good condition. So that'll be getting over to the house today. Yeah, there he is. So he's still here. See? So not KNX Woodle right there. That's one of the electricians. It's cool. But okay, here's a quick way to get banned today. If you say anything even close to something that it maybe don't even mean it negatively, but in any way, shape, or form, it could be interpreted as negative towards electricians, you're banned. You're banned. Cooking through this work. Okay. Cooking through the work. That you mean that in a good way. But like that in the prop firm world, that could be taken as Clay, I think your house might be burned down. Your electrician just said he's cooking through the work. I know what you mean. You mean productivity wise, efficiently, you're cooking through it. But in the prop firm lingo, I'm a little scared that my house might burn down now. What is the EMA? Or what EMA is the blue line? I do not see blue anywhere on my chart. Maybe, do you mean this? That is, for me, I don't know how it shows up on your chart, but that is a purple line. and that is the 50 SMA. The only reason I hate electricians is that they leave too early. I want them. Yeah, exactly. They're just fun to hang out with. Yeah. Again, absolutely beautiful individuals. I cannot think of a bet like electricians make Greek gods look like Gary Busey, you know? Okay, I'm getting ready for a pullback here. Zero confirmation that area, so but check it out over here on the 5-minute. We have the 21 EMA here at 600 basically. Ooh, what's this? Okay, so we kind of got a nice little alignment. I'm going to go ahead and try one right there. So buying without confirmation, but I think I have good reason to think that it could bounce from that area right there. But if this thing decides to start to dump and dump and dump, well, I'm going to have a losing trade. Here we go, maybe. If that green line turns blue, I'm in. I like it though. We were maybe should or I might 5-minute. We've already basically bounced right off that 21 EMA, but I'm gonna. I am in. So let's see if this thing cares about these levels at all or not. Like I said, risky in the sense of buying without any confirmation, and as of right now, seeming like a poor decision, but all right, out there, small loss. I felt like that was a bit of a gift. Maybe I would could have should have would have got. Yeah, it looks like I would have been able to get green. Didn't even need. But I'll take the small loss. I'll take the small loss. I can always reposition. So bounce back up enough. I didn't even care about getting back to break even at that point. I'm like, all right, if this bounced enough, I'll just step out. Electricians, that thing with the long handle and bristle is called a broom. Oh, now we got carpenters in the room. So I don't know that. Are electricians not known for picking up after themselves? I don't know the stereotypes of the trades. Ask your electrician. I think they use Milwaukee. I think they had those tools when I was over there. No, they don't clean? Really? Okay. Like they don't clean at all, or like that's crazy. How do you use EMA lines on Tradeovate? Oh, you mean how do you add them? Here, and then moving averages right there, and then you can pick all the different types of them. They always leave them. Yeah, but they're amazing. Famous for never sweeping up their scraps. Oh. Yeah. I guess we'll see. I will deliberately mud their electrical switch boxes. Oh boy. Okay. Well, hopefully we don't have any of that going on. I just want everybody to look at that. Okay. All right. So that's Mr. I don't know if I'm going to be looking at the second floor because he's like, yeah, these people are about to confirm. Notice how it's still, okay, still a mess. See, there we go. So right now it doesn't seem like he's denying the universal accusation. Okay, here we go. Maybe along here at the 50. Oh, tried along here. Did not get filled though. Okay, now I'm filled. See if it wants to bounce. Come on, 50. Come on. There we go. I'll take that little bouncy bounce. This is Tradovate. I am, so 2 layers. I'm in a prop firm. The prop firm is Take Profit Trader. Through the prop firm, I'm using Tradovate. Yeah, this is the 50 SMA. That's the 21 EMA. This is the VWAP. That is the 200 SMA. Oh, apprentices clean up stuff. Gotcha. What kind of HVAC system did you install? In regards to what? Hey, Mall the Winter. Well, thank you for using the code. First time trying. So, first time trying a prop firm or first time in futures? look at Robert. He's already speaking the lingo even more. Talking about the scalp. I wonder what me saying scalpy scalp and my scalpy scalp voice would sound like echoing through my future house. Maybe I'll have to give it a try. Hey, JSC. Like what brand splits? Oh, I don't know. I default to trusting the guy that I hired. So my logic is very simple. Find people that have good reputations and then just default to their judgment. Because I'm not an expert. I don't know. I mean, yes, I think I could figure it out if I wanted to devote a lot of time figuring out the best brand. But like at the end of the day, we're in small town America. People are incentivized not to screw each other over, especially if they live in that small town. Now, if I'm bringing somebody in from out of town, then I can see them like not caring because whatever. I don't care if people talk. I'm here and then I'm gone. But like everybody, like literally the electrician, the owner of the electrician is we're neighbor, like not neighbors in the sense of like next door, but like Iowa, as far as Iowa standards are concerned, we are definitely neighbors. So it's like maybe I have a flaw in my logic that he's still a total scumbag and he has no problem screwing over a neighbor, even though he's gonna have to like probably bumping me at stores and stuff like maybe he doesn't care about that, but I don't think so. He seems like a good guy. I think his incentive levels are in line with mine. Like, I'm in a small town. I don't want a bad name for myself in this town because, well, I want to be able to feed my family. So I'm going to do a good job. So that's kind of where it is with HVAC. The plumber HVAC guy, they're the same. They are in the town. Are there floor vents? I think so. Well, there's definitely vents on the wall. There are wall vents. I guess, I don't know. I have not looked. I would assume there's floor vents. How could there not be floor vents? Isn't that part of the thing? Well, first time using futures in prop firm. Yeah. Oh, okay. And I think you're also, I'm pretty confident you're also going to love No More Theta. As an options day trader, there is no theta in futures. Well, there's the bounce. Well, congratulations to any independent thinkers out there that are like, Clay, I agree. I like your entry point. But Clay, respectfully disagree that you're gonna scalpy scalp that thing. I'm gonna let the thing cook, because if you did that, well done. Okay, well, don't go straight up. Don't make. I mean, I already look stupid, but like, don't make me look. This. I mean, this much stupider. Stupider. That's a word. Stupider. Dumber. I know dumber's a word, because this is part of the greatest comedy in the history of comedies. Dumb and Dumberer, or Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumberer, I think, is the second one. Oh yeah, Rudd. Okay, yeah, I do remember seeing Rudd. Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is just the greatest comedy ever created. Which, and I can quote the entire movie. It's I mean, yeah, it's just great. In fact, if I'm having a conversation with you, odds are 80% of the quotes I'm giving you come from Dumb and Dumber. Oh, nice. So you 4 to 5 years ago, and then recently, did you leave the markets, or did you just randomly stumble on 2 months ago? Two plus two equals. That's true. Yeah, I agree. I might. I'm curious. Is this maybe the beginning of some sort of sideways choppy channel? All right, JS. All right, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. I'm getting a good quality system put in. I'm so smart. I'm on Jupiter. That's very smart. Jupiter with the two rings around it. Smallest planet out there. Yeah. I know my planets. Jupiter's the smallest planet, and it's got rings that go around it. Didn't have time for day trading, so I started swing trading. I'm asking, like, I'm curious, like, because I can't figure out the algorithm, but like, you knew about me 4 or 5 years ago, and then 2 months ago like, how did you stumble upon me? Maybe that's a better way to ask it. Like, you were just scrolling your feed, and then all of a sudden you saw something from me, or did you have to actively seek it out? No, Jupiter doesn't have rings. Yeah, it absolutely has rings, and it's absolutely the smallest planet. You're confusing it with Saturn. Saturn has no rings, and Saturn is actually the biggest planet. No, you guys aren't. That's not true. Interesting. And didn't realize. Okay, well, what helped you realize it though? Basketball. Like, did because it seems like I don't know. The algorithm will just like ignore me, and then like today, people like you show up. That's like, oh, I used to watch you 8 years ago. I didn't even know you were still around, but cool. Thank you, algorithm. But it's just like, what did I do to irritate the algorithm? Yeah, I clicked the sub button and I was art. But like, how did you? But like, what? How did you stumble upon me again, Clay? What are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? I'm an expert solar system dude. You okay? For those, I feel kind of bad. I don't think some of you. I don't think my sense. Yes, I know. Venus is the one that has the rings. Yes, and I know that the sun is the biggest planet in our solar system. I know. I was just joking around. Just like some people never get the joke when I try to I tell people that Yoda's in Star Wars, and they're like, no, you idiot. Yoda is in Harry Potter. I'm like, listen, it's just a joke. Sometimes that stuff just goes over people's head. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was waiting for that one, Matt. I mean, I was waiting for the sixth grade boy in somebody to come out at some point. All right, basketball, you get it. You get what's going on here. All right, well, as of now, looking like my theory that I was curious about is not playing out. My theory being, okay, are we going to start to chop around? Maybe this is the top of some sort of chop area, but as of now, I mean, I suppose it could just be a fake breakout, but at this exact moment in time, nope, looking like the price really doesn't care too much about that area. The purple line is the 50 SMA. Okay. So at some point you had to search. See, that's weird. I wish I know why the YouTube algorithm just didn't show me like at some point that you literally had to search for me, even though you're already a subscriber. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the algorithm. Well, if somebody says space is not real and everybody knows bird, but yeah, I think again I'm not. But wouldn't that person just say, well, birds don't fly in space, birds fly in the sky? So I don't see how those go together. So I'm texting with or I'm emailing the internet guy right now. Go 32K. Oh, you want it to go to 32K. Today, Manu? Or are you just saying like within the next week? Oh, okay. You were not subscribed. Okay, cool. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Thank you for the feedback, by the way. I always like feedback from people like you because I'm like, okay, how did somebody that knew me from the past all of a sudden stumble upon me again? And see if that gives me any insight into the algorithm. Yeah, Harry Potter is definitely a good space movie. Hey, Papacito. Hey, Connor, good morning. Rocket attack renewed already was 5 times. I have not seen anything on the chart that would make me think that there is something super dramatic that's happened. Last I saw, Iran said, okay, we won't fire anymore at Israel. But that was a little bit, what was that, like, I don't know, 8:30-ish Eastern time this morning? So looking like maybe, if this is some sort of Ranger, just a fake breakout of it, but... Trump did come out and say Iran and they're working on a ceasefire. Yeah, I haven't seen any sort of... Like, this move here, I think this was just the... Kind of just what we've had right now. But usually the news candles, the Twitter or the tweets, stuff like that, I mean, you'll get 100-point moves in a single candle. So here, yes, was a 100-point move, but it was kind of slowly over time. It dropped because I moved myself. Oh, okay, yeah, that's usually how it goes. Okay, fellas, we know that this is the bottom because I finally stopped out on my position. I think we've all had that feeling before. Internet, yeah, and that does what vlogs? Like, do you remember any of the videos that just started popping up randomly? Yeah, I just snapped a massive short position. Trust me, bro. Right? I assume, Fred, you got short. Like, what? I got short 50 NQ right there, and I covered 50 NQ right there. Trust me, bro. Trust me, brother. It happened. It happened. Kind of tempted for in fact, let me see. See, what I'm wondering is maybe do we need to chop around a little bit? So yeah, it's come down, yeah, it's coming up, but is this going to be one of these things where maybe it does something like this, and then maybe even needs to chop around a little bit more before going? And if it does something like that, well, this move down here or there or there, that could still be... This failure to push even up into these highs here makes me think maybe we're slowly running out of steam here. So I'll take about a 17 with slippage. Let's call it about a 19, 20-point risk. I think he was just joking around. I think Fred was just saying that as a joke. Yes, you are, John. Take Private Trader. You can copy all the... So if you want, you can do the pro accounts too. But yeah, if you want to try to get all 5 passed at once, you can copy trade them. Okay, gotcha, W4. All right, good. Thank you. That feedback does help. Okay, Fred, cool. Congrats on that trade. But around here, brother, we like numbers ahead of time or in real time. And what we call that is like, just trust me, bros. But yeah, congrats. But I understand you didn't know that. So your next trade, though, let us know like when you get in. Or let us know where you plan on getting in. So let us know your entry, your stop, and your target. And then we can cheer you on. But yeah, congrats on the candle right there then. No, hey, come back up here and film me before you drop back down. Yeah. No worries, Fred. Like I said, welcome, by the way. I don't recognize your name, so good to have you. It is just so much more exciting if somebody were to tell us, okay, I'm going to get short here, and they're telling us this ahead of time, and then we watch it play out. It's like, go, go, go. Yeah, and that's fair enough, Fred. That's fair enough. I do understand it's a scalper. If it's like a 3-second trade, then nope. Yeah, I mean, I get that. No problem. But I don't know. So in that situation, maybe, Fred, just shout, like, where are you thinking on taking scalps at? Like, hey, I like a scalp down around. Maybe you can do that. But yes, to be fair, I as a scalper myself, it can get a little... To type numbers is going to be a little anti-efficient. What's a word for anti-efficient? Because that I've never said that before. I've never heard somebody say anti-efficient. So what English word am I seeking? Counterproductive? I'm probably trying to say counterproductive. Anti-efficient, that's a proper phrase, but like, what word? My strategy is holding the short. Yeah, fair enough, Fred. Fair enough. Inefficient. There we go. That sounds right. I don't know. I might just continue to go with anti-efficient. Just because, okay, never mind. We got to get serious. All right, see now, think about it. There is a very good learning lesson here. This is why broad statements are not allowed. Because think about it. Broad statement-wise, I was right. You guys heard me say it. Yeah, I think this thing might be running out of steam. And look at this big pullback. It did run out of steam. But that's just a broad statement. Notice I was right from a broad statement, but I've made $0 from this. Why? Well, because trading is not about broad statements. It's about the details. And what detail did I get wrong? Well, my entry point right there. Oh, so close, yet oh, so far away. So anybody that is new here, do not practice with broad statements because you're going to think you're a really good trader, and it's going to be very different when you actually start to have to do actual numbers. I learned my trade, Clay. You missed it. Did I? I might have missed it. But thank you, Papacito. Papacito, by the way, you have been around long enough where, trust me, bros, from you, I trust you. Like, there does reach a point where if I recognize your name enough and I know that you've given enough trade plans, like, there is a point that I do accept, trust me, bro, trade plans. But, like, given this is the internet, when somebody just shows up out of nowhere, it's like, okay. Doesn't mean they're lying, but this is the internet. Denny efficient. After I pass my eval on Take Profit Trader and move to pro accounts. Nope. You can keep on scalping, brother. Clay, I got a big bag. Uh-oh. Well, the follow-up question is, did you crack them, or are they just there, waiting to be cracked? You're shorting. Where's your stop at, basketball? Gotcha, Fred. Above the recent high. Seems like only one trade. I will say, so James, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand how you could only have one trade today, given there's been some big movements. Again, that doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just seems like there have been a lot of opportunities. But hey, if you only have one trade, sounds like probably some good discipline. Yeah, no, you're good, basketball. I'm considering adding. Yeah, no, keeping the West wild, that is one of the key arguments that somebody that likes the 25K would use. So yeah, I can see the logic. Now, some would say that 25K is, so here's one of my favorite moments, because I always use this as an example, but I think it does such a good job of answering the valid question. Hey, Clay, prop accounts, what size is the best? And it's like, there literally is no answer. I still remember it. Somebody shows up, says 25K size, greatest, best. And I'm not kidding, like 7 messages down, somebody else shows up, 25K account, such a scam, and it just illustrates. You just kind of got to figure out what works for you. So keeping the West wild, I can see the logic there. Makes sense to me. Whether or not you, in practicality, it turns out that you like it, only one way to find out. I've had my 15K. Your 15K or 150K? Yeah, the problem with Thomas is that firm is, yeah, I'm not going to go, but let me put it this way, Thomas, I'm not a fan of that firm at all. At all. But yeah, we'll just leave it there. But hey, Thomas, if you're enjoying, more power to you, brother. The fifth, oh. Yeah, I am not aware. Maybe it exists out there where somebody has completely broken, but I mean, what size account? You kind of just gotta. I think starting at the 50K is a good place to start. Whether or not you stay at the 50K or like the 50K, I don't know, but I do think that's just kind of a common place, a good place to start. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, no problem, basketball. I just didn't know if that was a typo or not. Can't say I've heard of 15K accounts too often around here. Right, agreed with Bronson. Yeah, it's a case by case basis. I have 5 in the stable. Nice. Oh yeah. Because you can. Yeah, that is normal. I have that too, where I only show 5 is pending, but whenever I cook one, like new ones show up. So like you have 5, and then I know what you're saying. It's nothing to worry about, Chris. I know exactly what you mean. If you cook one of the current ones, the one that you're saying right now that is not showing up, it will show up. Way back when I emailed them, I was like, wait a second, where did that go? And they're like, well, we cap it at 5, so we only show 5 at a time. Cool. Serious question. I am at. Ninja, who are you with? What firm are you with? Let's start there real quick. I think you said Take Profit Trader. I like 50K and 150K accounts. I don't know how to discern. Scalping, you're looking to hold. I mean, there are various. I don't know. I would probably argue if you're holding for more than 5 minutes, you're not really scalping. But I am open to the idea that somebody pushes back against that definition. Okay, yeah. So, oh, I see. Okay, good. Hey, look at you. You even understand the 50% consistency rule. Correct. Yes. Once you hit 1,500, you'll want to be done for the day on that account. If you want to keep trading, you could fire up another account and try to build up, some more past test accounts. But yes, if you're like, no, Clay, I only want one, I'm doing one at a time, fair enough, then yes, you would want to stop at 15. But now once you pass and get into the pro account, Ninja, that rule goes away. Hey, Black Sheep. I don't know. So how do all of you, scalping, what is your definition of scalping? Again, I said if you're holding something for more than 5 minutes, I'm not quite sure I'd call that a scalp. But like, at what point does it, okay, so at 4 minutes and 59 seconds, it is still a scalp? I guess per my definition, but I'm also conceding that my definition has some wiggle room. Correct, no consistency rule. Yeah, exactly. No scalping rule, no scaling rule. Under 1 minute and less than, okay, so maybe I should go to 1 minute. 3 minutes. I'm not gonna, 3 minutes sounds kind of arbitrary. Like 1 minute makes sense, 60 seconds. 5 minutes, I think, okay, like because of a 5 minute time frame, quite the bounce here. Guess it would depend on what time frame candle you're working with. Oh yeah, John, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, that's a good point. I think, yeah, well said. I think scalping has more to do with how many points. Okay, Jake, that's it. So I guess here's the point that's being illustrated. Like, what's the definition of XYZ? Sure, there are some things in trading where it's a black and white definition, but like as we're demonstrating here, I see a lot of good definitions that were not my definition because they're technically, as far as I'm aware, there is no technical definition that like is universally accepted as what is a scalp. Blondes or brunettes? You got to look into the heart, John. Good looking or good sense of humor? Okay, let's do that, John. Good looking or good sense of humor? What are you taking, John? I'll open up to anybody. Both. No, that's not the hypothetical. Good looking or good sense of humor? John? Don't lawyer me. I set up a very strict hypothetical. I'm glad you got lucky and got both, but that's not the hypothetical. I am self-admittedly pigeonholing you into what could be a false dilemma, right? I'm aware of false dilemmas, which is what this technically is, because I do agree that you could get both. But that's not what we're doing here, brother. Neither? Then what are you picking? Fair enough, James. If you say neither, then okay, then what? Then what are you picking? It's a big dilemma she's watching. Well, no, hey, John, to be fair to you, I'm not saying you're answering this about her. I'm just saying in general. Like if you had to pick. By the way, I would Rich. That's fair. Sugar, so you can have a sugar mama strategy. Always finding fast movement, making a certain amount is getting out. Yeah, I hear you, Fred. Wes, listen. Yes, I would choose humor. I think sense of humor is the right answer there. That's what I would pick at least. That's what I would pick. I'll go with humor. Yeah, I think that's... I mean, okay. And also, we also have to shoot straight. Ladies, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I guess there's just exceptions. But, like, have you ever thought about, like, as dudes, we don't even know what a girl looks like for, like, actually a extended period of time? Because there's this thing out here called makeup. Like, I don't know. The whole thing, when you think about it, is kind of like deceptive. Is dating not deceptive? Or it's kind of weird if you stop and think about it. Like, at what point do you actually know what she looks like? Which, again, is why you might, like, the sense of humor is probably the way to go. It's kind of weird when you actually stop to think about it. Like if I was a stand-up comedian, and I'm sure this would not, I'm assuming this would be unoriginal on my part, but like I'd probably try to do a bit about that. Like the weird phenomenon that really, like at what point do you actually know, like assuming she becomes your future wife, like at what point do you actually know, like you kind of don't. Agreed. Yes, no. Not everybody ages like a fine wine like I do. So yeah, looks do fade, except if you're me or an electrician. Because remember, we're here to talk and say nothing about positive things about electricians. So unless you're me or an electrician, you beauty fades. First date is bobbing for Apple. Even though don't believe a word until you see it. Carl, I think you are really far behind the stream again. So, Carl, by the time you hear this, grab that scroll bar and drag it to live. Scalping is a lightning fast strategy of buying and selling within seconds or minutes. Okay, thank you, Blue Dot. That sounds like an AI, but even that, even that definition opens up many different definitions of selling within seconds or minutes. Okay, well, that brings up the obvious questions. Well, how many seconds? How many minutes? How do you know if she's the one you're going to marry? How did I know? Oh, because I listen to your loins, right? We know that's the theme song around here. And I am getting very sick and tired of people trying to tell me that the lyric is listen to your heart. No, that's... Who would ever write a song called Listen to Your Heart? Clearly, it's Listen to Your Loins. That's it? Only up a trillion? Dang, that's kind of bad. For the Holy Grail you learned about. So, like, as we just wait, would it be okay? Would it be okay for a guy? I don't know. How does that? Okay, all right. So here, I'll try to make the equivalent. Is this okay or not? What time do I go live? I'm here every morning by 11 a.m. Eastern. But like, as somebody that is like, it's disappearing up here, okay? I'm aware. But as somebody where the hair is disappearing, and then if I were to be single, would it be okay? So okay, any ladies, would it be okay for me to wear a ball cap? Like for the first, 4 months. 4 months of us dating. Again, a guy like me getting thin up here. Thin, so I wear a ball cap the first 4 or 5 months. Is that okay? Or should I disclose what I truly do look like up front? Ramu, yeah, I did at the 18-minute mark. Okay, Evan Messi, fine. Then how come I can't tell you, Evan Messi, no makeup? I assume, Evan Messi, if I say no makeup to you, because I got to see the face situation, all of a sudden I'm a jerk. Correct me if I'm wrong, Evan Messi. I think I see a potential double standard here. Do we get the breakup through here? I don't care about my hair situation. Like I said, I'm married. I have 6 kids. So I found somebody that is willing to make 6 kids with me. So I'm good. I'm just saying, I think there's some ironic double standards out there. I'll put it that way. That's right. 6, brother. Where did Evan Messi go? How come she can demand I'm not allowed to wear a hat, but I can't demand that she can't wear any makeup? What is going on here? What is going on here? There are gender double standards. Okay, as long as you're willing to admit that this is a total double standard, then fine. That's fine. I would assume CPI numbers came out at 8:30. Isn't that usually when CPI numbers come out? Do you know how long it takes for a pass EVA? We had this question last week. You've got to, I don't know, you might be, I can't remember what the answer was. Like, but the guy was like signed into the wrong spot. Yeah, again, it's just, there's some comedic ironies out there. By the way, for the record, I was not like to my wife. Yeah, no. I was trying to think, but no, the first time I saw my wife and I, we met back in high school, so, but yeah, anyways. It would be like if a woman wore a wig or hair extensions or had plastic surgery. It is our... Yeah, like I said, I just think it's funny how guys could not wear a ball cap to conceal something, yet women are still allowed to wear makeup to conceal. I mean, like, you literally don't know what a woman looks like when she's all makeuped up. You don't know. If you pass on Friday. See, these are the things we get into when, like, we're just kind of chopping around. But I am thinking about maybe a move upwards here on the long side. As it's consolidated up, it's making a push, and I am long. Let's see if we can get some more momentum here. Or did I just chase a fake breakout? I guess we're looking for our answer here. All right, took one out there just to reduce position size a little bit. In case this thing all of a sudden turns out to be a fake breakout. At least it won't hurt as bad. I am the creator of the cryptocurrency thing, but hidden and full of challenges. I know you appreciate me. I know that soon I will secretly send you the screen. The Queen? Dang, that's one of the most intense messages I've ever read. I don't even know what he's saying. I have a question in doing and my question is, if I go with... no, they will not fail you. They will adjust your profit target up higher, but you can just go and lose money to bring it back down to 50%. Okay, it's got my stop in place now, so this will be a green trade. Let's see if I can get this thing to keep breaking out for me, though. Oh, that was a spam. Okay, and out. Again, struggling to capture any sort of runner. Clay, the chat is pumping today. Ask for likes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you're here and you're enjoying, if you don't mind hitting that like button, it helps. I know it doesn't seem like you're doing a whole lot, but yeah, if you are enjoying this in any way, shape, or form, if you could hit that like button, I appreciate it. MGTOW. Make, goats, tier, off. What's MGTOW? What does that mean? Thank you, Big... Hey, Big Mama's back. Man, I'm calling one dude Big Mama, or one dude Sugar. Now I'm calling you Big Mama. This is getting... Man, my kids walking by, they're going to get a little confused here in a little bit. Daddy's talking to Sugar? Big Mama? I'm going to get in trouble with my wife. Like, are you hanging out with... I better not say that part, but, you know. My wife's going to think I'm hanging out with a certain crowd. I'm like, it's not me. It's not me, I promise. I promise. Sugar and Big Mama, they're not who you think they are. They're just future, or they're just traders. If she's listening and has a sense of humor, she will say you are telling me I'm not good looking. I mean, my wife. I mean, I understand you're just talking in general. Clay, do you? But I don't know. What is MGTOW? What does that stand for? Yeah, I swear it's trading. I swear me hanging out with Sugar, who happens to be a dude, and Big Mama. It's just trading. Clay, do you only trade in? Yeah. Because the history of me trading, I've always enjoyed. I think I kind of have a groove out of the opening gates. So that's where I feel more confident to be slinging that sort of stuff. But I am self-admittedly not. I've never really been a great afternoon trader. Heck, I've never even really traded the afternoon until I accidentally started the live stream, which is a true story. So just because I left it up just because, but if you go and watch the first ever live stream in the archive, you'll see what I mean about just starting this on accident. Evan Messi, I went over my day. So what you see down here is a bit deceptive. So if you want more, I don't feel like going through it all again, but if you want to hear more context of what I mean by that's a little bit deceptive, you can go back to the 18-minute mark. That was not the most ideal stop out, that's for sure. Well, congrats to anybody that went long here, and I guess in hindsight was a little more conservative with their stop. Andrew the Trader. Again, 18-minute mark. My day is not, I'm not doing so well today. It's not a disastrous day, but it's a bad day. What's more deceptive, trading or dating? Well, I guess kind of they're the same. Like, it depends on who you're... But here, I think this is the proper answer, like for both sides. Like, thanks, Colby. Appreciate it, Colby. I don't know if they're still listening, but thanks, Colby. You're my hero, Colby. Colby, I love you. Hey, I'm Will. How you doing? Colby's one of the electricians working at the new build right now. And I was told a while ago that the electricians had me on the loudspeaker as they worked. So that's why today, if you say anything negative about electrician, you're gone. You're gone. You're getting the boot. See, basketball's playing about. Yeah, we do love those guys. I don't know. I still got to think about that. Probably just need to get a price on it. So okay, I'm in a great debate right now. Do we get, because Teslas are sweet. I think we had this conversation last week. Teslas are sweet. So I'm trying to debate right now, do I get like a charger installed right now in case I ever get a Tesla or electric car? But it's like, I don't know if I'll ever get one, especially when I'm on a gravel road and it gets dusty, blah, blah, blah. Is dust and a Tesla actually good? And I don't know, but it's like, but I understand it's probably cheaper right now than to have it installed after the fact. But it's just a risk-reward situation, right? But the risk I'm also taking is like, okay, well, I'm paying for something that in theory I may never need. You think Teslas are garbage? Like when we went from Tonka metal toys to plastic junk. Charger, no, but at least have the line ran and the breaker ready. What about electric property? Okay, that's true. We could put that in after the fact. Clay, we're putting in extra conduit now so we can easily run more. Okay, so after the fact, Robert, it's not like a huge difference. Okay, so if it sounded like what you're saying is what somebody up has said. Just I can run the conduit and have it kind of be over there. If you guys... George, listen to this. All right, what did George say? Just put the breaker and service drop in. Yeah, I think that's what Robert was saying. That 6'3" wire is $5 a foot. Dang, I gotta start slinging some trades around here. See? Now I have to make a trade. I got $5 a foot. All right. Well, how long is this run? I gotta see. Now I'm gonna base my entire trade plan off of this wire, which is $5 a foot. How long's the run? Does $5 a foot? Is that only material cost or is that labor too? It just wouldn't be the end of the world if you want it done later. Well, if we got a Tesla, it would be more so like, okay, we got to run up to Des Moines, which is like a 50-minute drive. So it's not like it'd be and like I said, I don't think I'm saving the environment because lithium batteries. But anyways, they are cool. I rode in one. I'm like, dang, this thing's pretty sweet. But I don't know. That's just the wire itself. Okay. Materials seem to only go up though. And again, that's a fair counterpoint. No, that's fair. What voltage do they use? I don't know. You do not want anyone tearing up your new house later to put it in. No, I mean all fair points. All fair points. Oh. To do right now or to do later on down the road, Robert? I was going to buy a house in Betterdorf. Is Betterdorf, is that in Iowa? I don't know. I'm still learning. Okay. Yeah. Colby and Abby have been talking about it, but like she just texted me again. I was like, so what have you decided? I'm like, I don't know. Did Colby hear me just now, Robert? Did he hear me saying all the nice things about him? I might regret. No, I'm not going to. That's a good trend line. You got to think that a lot of people have drawn that trend line, and I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same level, wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some worthwhile movements. Good. I love you, Colby. Also, shout out to Robert. Okay, Robert, I'm going to give you some regards because you're a good example. So Robert's a little bit later on in years, so he's still working doing electrician stuff. But Robert's like, yeah, I really didn't like what I was doing. So shout out to Robert and all of you that are here that maybe are a little bit behind the curve in one way for actually doing something. You're like, I really don't like what I'm doing. So instead of sitting there and complaining about it for the next 40 years of your life, shout out to all of you that have gone and done something about it. If a battery catches fire, water won't put it out. If doors won't open when battery starts burning, it's a horrible situation. So it sounds like you're saying don't get an electrical car. Is that what you're saying, Blue Dot? Clay, that's descending resistance line you just drew is the top of a range I drew from last Wednesday. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. For sure, this helps me stay independent. Okay, this is what I suspect a lot of people have done, which fair enough. Very, I would say, pretty obvious trend lines. So, do I try a long for a bounce off? Are we about to flush down through there? I'm going to try a long. Right there. Looking for a bounce. We have the overnight high and this lower trend line. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Thank you, though. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get a bounce. Come on, go, 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 go. Bounce some more, brother. Keep going. Uh-oh. Okay, I got one out. So only a partial there. No, wait, no. I only got two left. I only got two left. Is it going to bounce or not? Dude, really? Wow. Okay. All right, I'm out. No soup for me on that one. Yeah, in hindsight, I had a chance at, like, I guess a scalpy scalp, but not really. Okay, did not care. Dang, that was like a double whammy of support, too. All right, if this closes below... Okay, here we go. Another plan. Now I'm going to look for a back test right there. I'm getting short right there, or I'm going to try to get short. So let's see if we can get the back test and go. No. Go back up there first. DXY is bouncing. DX, that's the dollar. Is that the US dollar? This pattern was way too clean to be real. Well, it depends on what standpoint. It was real if you shorted that breakdown. You had a nice scalpy scalp right there of like 20 points. So it's all a matter of perspective. Had I chosen to play the bearish breakdown, it would have been real from that regard. Okay, I'm filled. If this thing goes V-shaped straight back up, yeah. All right. Let's see the back test, rejection, and let's keep this downwards pressure going now at this point. Okay, can you copy trade on the test account? Yeah, no, you can copy trade test accounts, yep. And I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, take profit trader people, but I think you can copy trade a mix of pros and tests too, can't you? Like within your 5 accounts, can't you mix, could you have like, for example, 2 pros and 3 tests? Yes, you can. Okay. I'm pretty sure you can, but I guess I don't say that for sure. Okay. Well, if this is how the market is going to start to trade, where you get solid red candles immediately followed by solid green candles, like it'd be one thing if a hammer candle first formed and then something like this happened, but when it goes straight down solid red and then straight back up solid green, I am going to be struggling in these sorts of environments. Come on down. Come on. Go for a little bit. Come on down. Come on down. All right, let's make sure this is a winning trade at this point. Stop is in green territory. Come on, dump for me here. Next 2 targets. I guess my first 2. I haven't. Okay. Yes, I know I'm getting tight with the stops, but just based on how my day has been going, that's why I need to just make sure. As explained, I'm not going to go die again. But just driving my car to the vet. Oh, I think you mean your cat to the vet. Unless you have a vet that does car work. I almost want to try down here. Feeling like it wants to make a push down. Okay, I'm short. Come on, make that move. Make that move. Come on. Push down through. Let go. I'm just going to try to let 3 work for me on this one. I want to see it don't drop down, drop. All right, there we go. Okay, I want to see the flush now, or it comes back and takes me up. Now or never. Come on, dump, 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 dump. Okay, now I'm making 7 points, worst case. Keep. Okay, I got stopped out there. All right, well. I hear you. I appreciate your attitude of green is green. I hear you. I know it's coming from a good place, but just to kind of counterbalance the comment, you've also got to be careful with that attitude because green is green. You can't go broke taking a profit. Stuff like that are also the mentalities where if you're not careful, it can lead to like 95% win rates, but you're not profitable, right? Because you leave so much on the table all the time that it only takes one trade that doesn't really work out, and then all those green is green, you can't go broke taking a profit, that sort of stuff, then all the numbers get blown up. Gold, please, sir. What about gold? But again, I do understand what you're saying. The attitude of, hey, at least it was green, yeah, but like everything, you gotta keep in mind the ditches on both sides of that road. Tesla battery fires enter thermal runway, an eternal. Okay, so blue dot. Is what you're saying? Don't do an electric car. Is that your point with all this? Because if this battery catches on fire, then things could spin out of control. Is that what you're saying, brother? No, usually 30. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Neil. You did eventually put the ad. That was kind of a scumbag move on your part, though. See, if you tag the person ahead of time, like at the front of the message, then I just know, oh, okay, they're not talking to me. But you make me read the entire message, and at the end, you're like, haha, Clay, and I'm not even talking to you. Kind of a dirtbag move, Neil. But I do appreciate that you tagged the person. Okay, maybe another short here. Whoa! What time is it? Okay. That was spice. That was pure spice right there. Made me think that there might have been news, but we're at a random time. Well, no, I don't have any problem accepting that people probably die in Tesla fire or like electric car fires. Fine. But like we have to talk statistics, right? I'm sure there have been some people that have also died because of a spoon, but like does that mean spoons are like generally speaking dangerous? And I don't know, maybe the stats out there are like, no, Clay, the stats are actually really bad. Like, right, yeah, exactly. I mean, my toaster could blow up too, right? I love my Tesla. Also, take a dirt road, no problem. 3 years. Bottom of car is completely sealed. Okay, so you don't find yourself because Jason, I thought I read something about like one of the things like sucks up dust or something like that, but. Again, it is the internet, and I realize the irony. I'm still talking to Jason, who's on the internet, so I'm well aware of the irony here, but... Clay, you full porting SpaceX... Well, I don't day trade stocks. That's what's hilarious, is like, futures are still going to make the IPO look like paint drawing. Like, that's how great futures are. So, no, I have zero interest in watching the SpaceX IPO just because, like, futures are just better than stocks. Get a Rivian? Props. Correction is battery and major. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line. I think it served its purpose for now. I guess we'll leave that one. When the car's on fire, the electronics don't work. I really want to start trading futures, but just, I don't know. The Jays. The Jays. What, do you trade right now? If so, what do you trade? How many? Right, that's why I'm asking for stats. Like, I'm not saying that it's not possible for an electric car to catch on fire, but, like, I think we could start to make the same argument in regards to, like, fuel-based cars, right? Like, oh, well, a fuel-based car blew up. It's like, okay, yeah, but, like, we got to talk statistics here. Like, you can't base life based on outliers. If you base life on outliers, you'll never leave the house. But then I'm sure there's an outlier where, like, if you stay at home, then you could, I don't know, get bit by a toxic bed bite or bed bug, and then you still die, right? Like, I don't know. Never really trade, just buy a small cap growth stocks. Okay, and what is the decision tool? Okay, I can't. Maybe a short hair. What is the decision tool that you use for your decision making when you buy those small cap stocks? Are you using like fundamental? Are you looking at cash flow statements and balance sheets, or are you looking at the chart itself? Did you say toxic bed bug? That's what I said, brother. That's what I said. I said what I said. Toxic bed bugs. Got them in California, from what I hear. Neil, can you confirm or deny that? Okay, I'm looking for a short. Tesla are nice cars. I'm going to sell my Lexus and buy a Tesla. Just the company and its tech. Okay, well, what you need to learn first, though, before you even worry about futures, is charts. Because charts are 97% of day trading futures. But now the cool thing here is once you learn charts, and technically you can trade whatever. You could trade stocks, you could trade options, you can trade anything that has a value, and if that value changes, then charts are useful for that. So for you right now, it's not really about trading futures, it's about learning charts. Those toxic bed bugs. Would you ever get a non-Tesla EV? Yeah, I guess I'm open to it. I've never been in any other ones. What's your tick situation like? I mean, we definitely have ticks, but we also spray our clothes with permethrin, however you say it, and that stuff is effective. It is not organic. We tried the organic stuff, does not work. The ticks, like, we have video footage of ticks, like, laughing about the organic stuff. Like, cracking jokes about the organic stuff. But their permethrin stuff, crazy. Like, it works. See, there you go. There's a case to not make your bed. Clay would look good in a roadster. What's a roadster? Again, I'm not a car dude, so yeah. I hate vehicles, by the way. I hate them. Shopping for vehicles is the worst. Okay, here we go. Maybe a long. I don't know. Is this a short? Oh, I could. Things are getting kind of sketchy here for the longs, I think. That's right. I agree with Skinzo. Hit that like button, folks. Oh, what's yeah. I don't know. I just want one with good mileage. That's all. That's all. I don't know if I quite, Jason. I don't know if I quite have a trade plan yet. I was thinking short, but I kind of want to see how this continues to develop. So yeah, I don't really have anything per se to explain yet, just because I'm kind of still thinking through it. I'm trying to short at 600. Yeah, I might join you up there. I might join you. I will join you. I am going to join you. Well, 610. You know, I want to do this instead. I want to wait for confirmation because I don't want to get stuck in one of these things if this thing just goes straight green. Anyone or anything that would be a good way to learn TA? I mean, I'm biased, but if you check out my YouTube channel and then I offer some stuff at claytrader.com, but I am self-admittedly biased. But I will say I do believe in what I have to offer, and my proof that I believe in what I have to offer is something that I don't even know if people even do anymore in this space. But what I offer does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you give it 30 days, and if you think like I'm a terrible teacher, if you don't think I'm making any progress, then yeah, you will get your money back. So yeah, I recommend what I offer, but I also admit I am biased in that. But I'd like to think that I have some infrastructure in place that does also display that I do truly believe in what I have to offer. Got 20 points? Good job. If this comes up here and bumps its head right here and comes back down, I will look for a short. Okay, come up. Where is this? Oh, of course. What? I mean, anything on the internet. Yeah, of course. Of course you got to watch out for scams. Let me put it this way. Anybody that is selling you their unique strategy, I'm not saying it's a scam in the sense of it doesn't work for them. I'm saying they're selling you, they're trying to feast upon the fact that, oh, so I don't even have to think for myself. I just blindly follow this other person's strategy because it works for them. That's not how trading works. We all have to have our own little strategies, our own little tweaks and turns, because we're all, overall, sure, we have the same general emotions, but like, we all have different personal risk tolerances. And the best way I've ever figured out to explain that is if you ask somebody how to have fun, somebody may recommend going skydiving. Somebody may recommend reading a book. Are either of those people wrong? No, it's just those are two very clearly different risk, personal risk tolerances. Okay. I'm glad I waited for confirmation because as of now, we're just going straight up. So that was in hindsight, glad I chose confirmation as opposed to just hopping in. Do you like Cardano? Is that okay? This is going to answer your question. The Cardano, you mean the cryptocurrency? Because I don't even know what really you're talking about. I think Cardano's crypto. So no, I have no thoughts on Cardano just because I don't trade, I don't invest in cryptos. That's true. Aisle 17, Michael. Everyone says paper trade. Well, yeah, but paper trading. Yes, you should paper trade, but it's not quite that straightforward because paper trading, there's no voices. Yeah, William, agreed. But also, William, I think a part of that is because they're not intentionally screwing it up, but because they're not the same person, they have a different risk tolerance. They're just not going to feel comfortable, right? And I'm just totally making this up for the sake of it. But let's just say, here's my strategy: follow X, Y, Z, and part of the strategy is 20 NQs. Well, for that person, maybe their mental makeup can watch and deal with 20 NQs. If you're not familiar with 20 NQs, your P&L is going to be fluctuating very big. But like if somebody else does that and it's like, okay, and then step 38 is 20 NQs. Again, if that person's mind is not okay with that, I don't care how good the strategy is, that person's going to mess it up just because they're not going to be comfortable with 20 NQs. Again, it's just to illustrate a general point. I realize I'm taking a logical extreme, but I push things to the logical extreme to illustrate a broader point. No, I just like the markets where there's the most volume, which is where the NQ, the ES, the YM, stuff like that. Trying to figure out if it wants to come back down. This is kind of sketchy, but I kind of like if this thing breaks back below the overnight high. I'm going to try it. Does that put it into an area where it can find some more strength back to the downside? Let's see. All right, I'm in. Come on, downside. Let's keep coming. Come on. Get down there. Get down there. Get down there. I don't necessarily need to see the price hit that for me to put in my stop, but I'd like to see it get a little closer. Come on, make one more push and I'll get my stop in green. Uh-oh. I know I had the scalpy scalp. I know, but I wanted more, and maybe that's now going to cost me. Now that I think about it, I continually to go for these, try to give these things a chance to move, and I haven't had really any that I've been able. Maybe I do need to just change everything to scalpy scalps at this point. Good job, Papacito. Congrats. Too choppy today? I don't know. For me, I think I feel fine with things. I just think I probably should be a little bit more scalpy scalp than what I am. Fighting the 14 EMA. Okay. We got a 14 EMA user here. You've been only scalping today? I am short. Blue line's my entry. I passed by as it came down here. I was about to put my stop in, but I did want to see it get a little closer before officially putting in the stop. Yeah, that Tokyo VWAP is it's a stubborn chinchilla. Okay, now it does not want to get back below the blue line. It bounced off the blue line and is now... I'm in one of those... I think we've all been there before where it's like the market all of a sudden figures out where your blue line's at, and it's like, no. We're going to turn that into the new support. How to add stop loss trailing. Yeah, good question, Adam. Or Adan. Aiden. I'm not... But yeah, I don't use a trailing stop, so, because I just mentally do it. The Chinese indicators work the best. Yeah, the Temu indicators. Uh-oh. The orangutan knuckle. It's intense. Well, so if I said mentally, I didn't mean mentally, I meant manually. Like I can, move my stop down as it goes. I kind of want to add at this point. Now seeing this sort of action, if this thing now breaks back down, is this an add? Well, there was where I was thinking about adding. We'll stick with 3. We'll stick with 3. I don't need to out fancy myself here. Come on. See if we can make the push now. Like I said, I want to see it push down more before I officially throw in the stop. Come on. There we go. That's all right. There we go. So stop is now in green territory. Let's see if we can. At least hit this first target here. Come on. A little bit more. A little bit more. Come on. Don't. Oh, you got to be. In hindsight, I definitely shoulda, coulda, woulda, obviously. But yeah, I should have added. See, I can't get any. I cannot get any sort of runner. I can't get no runners. Right. Who is that? That's Rolling Stones? Yeah, Rolling Stones. I think. I was going to say AC/DC for a second, but that's not AC/DC. Bounce off 100 SMA, tried to play along, read it, but feeling myself so bad, I instantly stopped out myself. Gotcha. The rolling loins. That's good. That's good. Oh, man. All right. Got a meeting at 3 Central. 3 Central at the house. You guys, hey, Robert, if you're still here, you guys going to be there at 3 p.m. still? I know electricians take like 4-hour lunches, so. Oh, boy. Okay, yeah. I was aware of it, and it did. It ultimately proved to be a thorn in my side, but over here on the 5-minute, we do have the 50 SMA right there. Which through the course, it has been clean bounces, but a lot of fake breakdowns of that purple line. Here are several fake breakdowns. There's another fake breakdown. So to get short right now, or definitely, there's no way I'm getting short on a break of the purple line. Because right now, the track record just shows fake breakdown. Now, that doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to be a fake breakdown again. I'm just saying I would not feel as though I have an edge to short right now a break of that purple line. I think she wants to go to the downside. Yeah, Zach, maybe. For the reasons discussed, though. I'm not quite sure, though. Another 1 month worth of work in your day. I'm jealous. No, Bobo. You got to go back and watch. Start from the 18-minute mark. The numbers you see on the screen are a bit deceiving today. So you got to go back to the 18-minute mark, and I provide a little bit of clarity. You'll feel better. Who's throwing their lunch trash on the... Keeping the West wild does not. I repeat, does not. He's not a fan of electricians. Okay, we are approaching that 50 SMA on the 5-minute. It's a thing. I guess I didn't realize that the trades were like the military. Like I understand the branches love to roast each other, but man, the trades are goodness. I'm gonna try a long down here. Stop right there. So that's 11 points. Fine, so be it. 1 p.m. There's nothing at 1 p.m. I don't think, right? Okay, here we go. Maybe. Let's see if we can get the bounce. No, go back down there. Looking for a long. At the green line, stop is the red. I'm in. And stopped. All right. No triple bottom on that one. Clay, you should have waited for confirmation. In hindsight, I agree. But had I waited for confirmation and it came down here and then hit me and then immediately bounced, you'd be saying, Clay, you shouldn't have waited for confirmation. You should have just known it was a triple bottom. It's like, okay. So go ahead. I know somebody will tell me that. I know. I should have waited for confirmation. You're right. I need one more trade to pass an eval. Because, well, no, I don't. You mean you have to make a very small amount that you think you're going to make in one trade. I've never heard of a prop firm where you have to make a certain amount of trades. Long above 560. All right. Man. Late night. Going to look for a short at the red line here. This was a former area of support, so now I'm thinking let's see if this wants to act as resistance, but as of now it seems like it's just continuing to bleed. Yes, need to profit 6. Gotcha. Wow. I mean, might be a couple trades. Don't think you have to get $60 in one trade. So don't tell yourself just one more. Just one more. Okay. I am in knife catching mode right now. I'm not gonna lie to myself. Is this a degenerate knife catch? No, I don't think so. I think I have good logic. I think it could bounce from the 200 period SMA here, but it is still a knife catch nonetheless. So if you're doing this too, don't lie to yourself either. You are trying to catch a knife. Not in a degenerate gambler way, but you are trying to catch a knife. You're still in short? Dang, good job. Okay, it's getting close to filling me. All right, I've given you enough time. I'm going to come down here now. Okay, new entry point right there. No, no, no. Well, if you've ever had those situations where you have an entry point and you're like, no, let me just adjust it down a little bit more, and then it would have been a beautiful entry had you not moved. Hey, I've been there too. I'm there right now. That would have been 94. Now, I'm not saying I'd have played it perfectly, but 94 up. Oh, yeah. Looking at almost a 20-point bounce already. Are you done with your plumbing and mechanical? Yep. For the most part, yeah. Electricians are there again working. So Homer, we're getting there. We can see the finish line for the Ruffin. I think that's probably a fair way of looking at it. See the finish line, not quite there though. Yeah, doggone it. I was trying to move my entry down, but got partial filled. Well, hey, congrats to being slow. All right, I will try a short back. That'd be kind of crazy if it bounced all the way back up there, but if it does, I'm going to take a swing at it. What a bounce. For the record, yeah, that would have been an amazing entry point. I don't think I would still be in though. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh man, I just lost myself 60 points. Now, if it's like, oh, well, that would have been a lucky knife catch. No, that wasn't luck. You can't say that was a lucky knife catch. There was logic. We had the beautiful 200 SMA right there. So it was a knife catch, yes, but it was not at a random area. Therefore, you could never say, well, you just got lucky. You just randomly threw in an area. No, it was not a random entry. After drywall is usually when things really get going. I don't know. We have felt like things have been really going right now. From the time the basement was dug to, the guy that Sam is his name, we have been pleased. We just got to get the basement situation figured out. The basement keeps getting wet. And there's nothing in the base, so it's not like flooring is getting destroyed. It's still all concrete flooring down there and stuff like that. And the wood down there is like, treated, blah, 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 but still. Do you have... No, I think I am very anti-profit targets in any way, in the sense of like a day or a week or... Okay. Maybe a short here. I need to do this. Okay. What I want to see is for the price come up here, bump its head, and then I'll look for a short potentially on the way back down. So again, this is a former area of support. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know. I think this past time was the breaker for the sub pump tripped. So then, like, the sub pump just stopped working. But no, I don't think it's coming from... The amount of rain we got on Friday was well, yeah, I don't know, Renfrew. I don't know where you're at exactly. I don't know if you got hit by all those storms on Friday. But, like, that storm, like, camped out. So for the amount of rain we got and the amount of rain that showed up in the basement, like, it was much less than what I used to seeing. Yeah, I think the former drain, I think the exit pipe for it though might have gotten crushed accidentally. So when we do all the gutter stuff and like redig like the gutter spouts to get and all the tiling, we got to dig that back up and probably fix that. So that's probably playing a role with it too. Because the sub pump we just had put in as just like a extra layer of precaution. But like the amount the sub pump is running, we're like, yeah, I think one of the guys accidentally drove over and crushed that pipe. Hello. Oh, my first. I remember you from last week. Hello, my first. That's why they have battery backups on their sub pumps. Oh, so a battery should have been going then? I'll have to ask him about that today. Does this sub pump not have a battery on it? I don't know. I don't know. I was a little cranky on Saturday. I'll confess. It drives me nuts when I go over to the house and I see water in the basement. I got a little. To be fair, I've never built a house before, so I don't know at what point it officially becomes no longer acceptable to have water in the basement. I don't know what that point is, but it seems like we should be getting very close because the windows are in, the outer shell is on. We don't have final grading, so yeah, there's no gutters, so I understand water's just dumping right along the walls. Sounds good, my first. I know it costs a ton, but when we retile around houses, talk people in the back filling the foundation. Yeah, I know there was some rock that was used, but it definitely was not rock all the way up the basement walls. Until gutters and close to final grade, don't stress. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try a long down here, maybe like a double bottom. Correct. Yes, you can take daily payouts on TPT. Correct. Water in basement is never. Well, yeah, I hear you, Raymond, but like we're also in a new construction, so like the new construction, water in basement is a little different than obviously the home is done, the home is fine, and then all of a sudden you have a flooded basement. So. Okay, let's see if we can get. Are you kidding me? Okay, this is going to be one where it fills me and then dumps. Watch. It's so close and then bounces around. Okay, here we go. Let's see if. Please, I hope I'm wrong. Now bounce. Come on. Come on. Get above that 200 SMA. All right, I'm gonna do it just because I do like. I'm gonna add some more right here if it wants to come back up. Adding some more at the green line. Only if it comes back up though. I was close to adding. We're starting to dance here quite a bit. Okay, I'm in. Come on, give me that green hammer. It's too slow. All right, got that out. Okay, and then these final two I'm just going to let cook. Come on, keep bouncing now. There we go. So blue line is my entry. Stop is a red line, so stop is above entry. So this will be a green trade. Not just trying to figure out how big of a green trade. Next target is up here. Glad I added. And I just cannot. Well, I guess I'm still in. We're not. Oh, come on. Push, push, push. There we go, brother. Get up there. Get up there. All right, I'm going to move my stop up some more. So now worst case, my risk on this one is making 10 points. I like situations where my risk is I make 10 points. Reward unknown because I don't know how far up this might want to bounce. But I do like when my risk is I make 10 points. It's fun. If you've ever been here, you know how fun it is when your risk is, well, I'm making XYZ amount. Oh, come on. You're so close to this target. This will feel like a very good trade if this target can get hit. Thank you. All right. Okay. I did. Very nice. Very happy with this trade now. Okay, now my risk is making 16 points. Reward unknown. Keep bouncing up, brother. Make another. There we go. Move up my. So now my risk is making 24 points. Move that up some more. My risk is making 29 points. Risk making 29 points. Reward unknown. Again, because I don't know how high up this might want to keep going. But I like when my risk is I make 29 points. There we go. All right. Trying to beat the buffer on a pro account right now. Yeah, scalpy scalps for sure. Do you mind showing? Well, I have several ATMs. So it just depends on what you're looking to do. Oops. Uh-oh. Did I just knock out the volume? I might have just knocked out the volume. No, okay. You can still hear me. Ooh. Kind of sort of making me bearish, but we're definitely still right at the 200 SMA, so that makes it a little sketchy. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, that was that one I have zero. That one worked out nice. Got that one target hit, which was great. Yo, how you been, dog? Doing all right. Doing all right. How was your weekend? I don't remember ladder, but if you scroll back, you can see my position size right here. And then you can calculate the profit by looking at that number before I took the trade. And then just do the math and see what it is at now. How many wins and how many losses today? I don't know. I don't care about that. That is a very overrated statistic. What is your win-loss ratio? Who cares? Very, very overrated. You could have a 97% win rate. You could win, out of 100 trades, you could win 97 times and have a terrible day. You could have a red day. Again, I'm not going to say worthless is a very strong word. So is a win-loss ratio, is a win percentage, whatever you want to call it, is that a worthless statistic? No. Is it very overrated? In my opinion, yes. I do not swing trade now. I like to sleep at night. That's true. Once in a while, I'll swing for the fences. Okay, I'm going to try a long down here. Okay, so I'm not waiting for confirmation, but the 5 minute, we actually have a very nice hammer candle. So I'm seeing if this can deliver or not. Just trying to see if it's worth gambling today. Well, I mean, if you're gambling, then does it really matter? Because if you're gambling, aren't you just here for fun? I mean, fair enough. I applaud you that at least you're not lying to yourself. At least you're like, just like, no, I'm not here to like trade responsibly. I'm here to gamble, brother. I give you props for not lying to yourself. I respect that. We definitely are different. We're definitely different. But there's nothing worse than seeing somebody that you can tell is a gambler and then they're trying to do mental gymnastics to prove that they're not a gambler, and it just, the hole keeps getting deeper and deeper. I gotta cancel. I do not like how it's just hovering above where I wanted to buy, and it's not quite filling me. At this point, it seems like if I do get filled, it's going to be at that moment where it just keeps on dumping. Just find a decent setup and well, that now it becomes a question of what is gambling. I argue gambling is something where you have no edge. So like slot machines, for example, that is gambling. Like there is no such thing as a professional slot machine player. Why? Because there's no edge. But that's also why I would not call poker gambling, because the reason why you have professional poker players is because there is an edge somewhere in poker. There is a reason why card counting, casinos don't want card counters in blackjack, right? Because there is an edge there. So as somebody that has the ability to card count in blackjack, is blackjack for that person gambling? Not per my definition of, is there an edge? So per your point, James, if you find a decent setup, well, I don't think that's gambling then, because you have a decent setup, meaning you should have an edge. Hey, good job, Papacito. Great trade. ES making new lows. Are they? I don't know. They both charts seem to be doing. I mean, am I looking at the wrong thing? Yeah, I don't know if I see the divergence. They look pretty similar to me. Did you not say ES? Yeah, I don't know, Michael. They look. I guess let me know your thoughts. MNQ 5-minute or NQ whatever chart versus the Nasdaq versus the S&P. Their 5-minute charts look, just generally speaking, the same. Blackjack counting is hard. No, I never said it was easy. I'm just saying there's a reason why casinos don't want that. I did my first slot machine years ago and made 5K. Again, yes, good, yes. But I'm glad, Rich, you're not calling yourself a professional slot machine player, though. My friends hate so much, says it's fake money, and I'm going to lose it. Well, I mean, it's not fake money, so that part is false, and you could lose it. So, yeah. Will you lose it? I don't know, but is it possible? Yeah, unless you've taken payouts, which is another good thing about prop firms. Is with your real funds, yeah, well, I'm building my account up. Yeah, well, then you really haven't made anything, because until you pull that money out of your personal account, you haven't made anything, because that money is still in harm's way. But at least with the prop account, when you get a payout, that is now out of harm's way. So if you blow up that account, you still have those profits. Yeah, basketball, maybe. I'm not familiar with those, so I can't really weigh in either way. But, yeah. I won twice playing slots, and suddenly there was there's a figure in uniform right behind me. And what is this figure in uniform? What were they doing? Did they think you hacked the machine or something? Well, this thing continues to just chop around here, so now I'm wondering, it's kind of a weird spot though. Because this is a bear pennant. That's fair. That's true. I'm not gonna deny that. Yeah, we're in a downtrend, but we're not, because we're still in somewhat of an overall uptrend, because the pink line, which is the 200 period, is flat. So it's just not like, if this was just a bold-faced downtrend, then this is, to my mind, okay, I'm leaning short for sure, but it's just not quite that. Right. So that kind of proves the point. Wait a second. This person is winning a little bit at the slot machine. Their default is you must be cheating, right? Because they realize there's no edge. I want to try along here. Are we about to get some sort of... I was typing looking and it got autocorrected to loins. Oh yeah, no kidding. So what I've started to discover is this. It is bizarre. But I don't know, maybe it's a confirmation bias that I'm not aware of, but like I could swear. So like Rob, he's not here anymore. They're at lunch, but like Robert the electrician, who's working on my house. I met him, talked with him for like a good 20, 30 minutes last week. And I don't know if it was that night, but it was soon after that he was a suggestion on my Facebook wall. Or like, where Facebook has suggested friends, you may know. I don't know. Like, is it gone beyond that level where now like Facebook is figuring out who you're actually talking with? And then they're like, hey, you just talked with this person. Do you want to add them as a friend? Again, early, I don't know. It could be a confirmation bias, but it's getting, I swear that people that I meet, because I've been meeting a lot of people lately because of the house build. I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to that possibility or not. Yes, we have we have WhatsApp. I don't use WhatsApp, but we have it here. Because my speaking voice is the same as Johnny Carson. Like the late night host, Johnny Carson? It's true Facebook tracks your proximity to other Facebook members. Okay, so if I understand what you're saying right, you're saying if I am in close proximity with somebody else and they know both of these people have Facebook, then that is why Robert the electrician was recommended to me, because Facebook could tell that my proximity to him was like a good 20, 30 minutes. Is that what you're saying? I just don't want to misrepresent what you're... I think I don't have a brain chip and said, yeah, okay. That does make sense. So it's not necessarily listing in the sense of like it's just listing via our GPS. That actually makes very good sense. Okay, I was looking for a short here maybe, but I did wait for confirmation, and as of now, seemingly just pushing back upwards. No, I understand listing in the sense of advertisement. I was just saying, how is it that like I meet somebody and then it seems like all of a sudden they're a request or a suggestion on Facebook? No, I don't have him as a contact. Nope. Interesting, Curtis. You got any tips for new traders? Well, what kind of trader do you want to be? Day trader or swing trader? Day trader, then yeah, my big suggestion would be to day trade futures through a prop firm. Futures they're just the best thing to trade in this day and age. But because futures also move very quickly, you'd want to do it in a prop firm. And a prop firm, especially for someone that's just getting started, is a great way to learn. It'll give you a lot of opportunity to learn, because then when you do something really stupid, that could potentially cost you thousands of dollars if you're using your own funds. In a prop firm, it costs you, a couple $100 at very most. Interesting, Curtis. I want to be a hyper scalper. Yeah, there you go. Well, then I think you'll really enjoy futures, but make sure to do futures in a prop firm. Wow. I am glad I waited for confirmation because we got the bounce. And that's what I meant earlier about, yeah, we are in a downtrend with the bear pennant kind of, but then we also had this 200 SMA. So that's why for me, it was hard to read. And that's why I sat on my hands. And in my defense, I'm glad I sat on my hands because had I gotten any, short, it'd be a losing trade. Missed that long triple bottom. I mean, did you try or? Okay, ES at a very interesting spot as I glance over on the 5-minute. Right at the 21 EMA, the VWAP, this pivot point. So no guarantees, but quite the potential congestion area here for rejection for any of you ES traders. Hey, thank you, dork. You are a jerk though. You and Dum Dum make me sound so mean to everybody. Why is this guy calling him a dork? He just gave him a super chat. Yeah, agreed. This is one of these things where getting stubborn with wrong position size, cooked. Hopefully you're just in a prop account. Code Clay. Because we are now at, oh my goodness. Yeah, this 100 points. 2, 4, yeah. So about 6 minutes, 100-point bounce now. Goodness. Yeah, like I said, position size, very, very important. That's why today I've just been doing 3 MNQs. Because position size can spin out of control very quickly if it's too big. All right, Sean, have a good one. These big green candles have lower volume than the big red ones. Yeah. True, but at the end of the day, for us, retail traders, we yeah. Volume can't, or these volume bars don't mean a whole lot to us. Like, they mean it, but like practically, nobody, as far as I'm aware, nobody hears the hedge fund that's like, okay, just got a call, and I need to go out there and quietly accumulate 500 contracts. It's like, okay, nothing like that I'm aware of. But who knows? Maybe we got market makers here. Maybe we got hedge fund owners here. By the way, Friday was crazy. And I'm talking about live streaming. So if you were here on Friday, congratulations. It was like 5 hours and 15 minutes. I didn't know that I had that in me. Brain power wise, didn't know that I could really push that far. But man, with that sort of price action, it was just, it was something else. Went all the way to close. I'm kind of tempted to do that again at some point, but it did dawn on me, yeah, Clay, but some days, like, it's a mental struggle to get to right around that 4-hour mark because, man, the market's kind of slowed down quite a bit. So I can't make any sort of commitment to that. All I'll say is I'm glad that I proved it is possible. So if we get more days like that where the action stays beautiful, then, hey, maybe I can continue to push it, but yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, but this is not going to happen. Now the chat has gone quiet. So, like, yeah. Now that's the other thing. On Friday, the chat was active the whole time. I mean, it was just, I mean, it sounds crazy. And, like, when you tell people, yeah, I live stream over 5 hours, they're like, how do you talk for over 5? But I'm like, but it's weird. It's just like hanging out. How long has it taken to build your house? Well, we are still building a house. So we started in, basically, we'll call it mid-March. Okay, now this is where I lose because thank you, everybody. You chime in, but now I'm going to have to start ignoring people because like 30 messages showed up in 1 second. I just lost all my money on that green candle, bro. Come on, you selling me. What? Huh? Okay. Why do I get an impression now that you're actually not that? I'm a little suspicious now. Okay. Well, he created this screen name in 2019. But aren't you the guy that just showed up asking advice? And now all of a sudden you just lost all your money. So like, okay. So he's actually not serious. Bad call outs. Okay. That's weird. I don't know. Today is not a sweet trading day. Today is not a sweet trading day. Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's always a strategy dependent. As I've always said, some days one trader's turd is another trader's gold bar. Good job, Philip. Not in the sense of struggling, but good job recognizing you struggled and good job stopping after 2 trades. Good discipline. That'll take you far. I'm buying this pullback for a long. Maybe I'm being stupid. I'd like to see. If it goes down here again, I think I got to try that again, right? Long. It's, let's see, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, can it bounce 8 times? Can I get one more bounce? I made 6. Good job, Ty. Yeah, but yeah, I would not interact too much from with that one dude. He's showed up thinking, I thought he was genuine. I thought he was genuine looking for some help. But yeah, he spun off the deep end very quickly. Got it. I'm out for 50. Hey, nice job. All right, here we go. Maybe. If it comes back down to that line. I gotta get, yeah, I'm tempted to do 5, but no, 5, that's starting to feel newsy, you think? Yeah, I know, yeah, daily payouts are the worst. Let me tell you, CR15. Like, literally everybody, like, I don't like being able to take out daily payouts. It's so annoying that I can get paid every day of the week. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for talking about a prop firm that will allow you to take out daily payouts. Congrats, though. All kidding aside, well done, sir. How many payouts? I don't know if I should ask you that. Because I don't want you to start counting streaks. Am I allowed to copy your trades using TP myself? I'm not sure what you mean. Using what's TP stand for? I know, K-Dogger, horrible. It really is worse. How am I supposed to starve myself? Yeah, exactly. I know basketball. I know. You said you're outside the country. What country are you in, basketball? That's right, brother. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, surely you can't mean, can you copy trade my trades using toilet paper? Oh, are you saying like, does Take Profit Trader have a thing where like you run through their system and you're like, okay, just make the same trades that Clay Trader makes? Is that what you're asking? Does Take Profit have that sort of function? You're in Malaysia? Ooh, I don't know if who I use is open to you. Now I'm curious. Let's check real quick. Okay, you do not want to see your country on this list. LM. Hey, there you go. Nope, they are. They're open to people. Malaysians? I think you're a Malaysian, right? They're open to Marta. What is that? Huh? Sorry, I gotta try some geography real quick. The official Islam of Republic of America is a country in Northwest. Okay. I'd be lying if I said that I've heard of this country before. I don't even know how to say it. But anyways, if you live in this country, you may not use Take Profit Trader. No, am I just allowed to sit here and copy your trades myself? Okay, Daniel. Don't you think that sounds a little too easy? Like, I'm just gonna copy this guy's trades, and then I'm just gonna like make like don't. Doesn't that sound a little bit too good to be true? I have not noticed any issues. Great speed. What kind of issues are you having? Can log in, but no, not even close. Has anybody ever had that issue before? And if yes, and you're able to fix it, what was the fix? I've never even. Well, if I've had that issue, I've forgotten about it. Well, I mean, what do you mean get you established? Like make me a little bit of money? Make me some money? Is that what you mean by get you established? Just kept refreshing it? Gotcha. Yeah, maybe the old reboot. No, learn how to do it myself. Okay. If I'm open to the idea if you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do one MNQ because I just want to get a feel for how things fluctuate and move. I guess that's fine, um, but yeah, no, it is as cliche as the saying is. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. I mean, that's definitely true here. Not to mention there are delays and stuff like that. So, but no, you do need to learn how to do this yourself. But yeah, Daniel, you can only do it if you use code Clay though. That's it. Like you got to use code Clay all caps to take Profit Trader. Then you can follow along a little bit. But if you don't, then I have to get a hold of Take Profit Trader and be like, hey, this Daniel guy, he wants to follow along, but he couldn't even use my code. What are we gonna do about him? And then, we'll eventually conclude his kneecaps are mine. Never had a board change my entire layout reset to like. Oh, you know what? Okay, newbie. I think it was Phil. Philly. I think it was Philly early this morning said last night his setup just reset itself. So maybe it is somewhat of a wider spread thing. Yeah, Philly. Is that what happened to you? Did your charts originally just disappear, Philly? Again, I'm looking for a long at this yellow line, but part of that is just trying to be patient enough to let the price go down to that yellow line. If on web may need to delete browser catch. All right, thank you, Phil. I love this chat. People just helping each other out just because they want to help. That's good stuff. Huh. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but I have been okay today with TraderVate. Clay, is it possible to reset a pro account? It is possible, but it's mathematically stupid. Because for the price of one pro reset, you could buy like 5 or 6 test accounts, which is why around here we advocate the racehorse model, which means that get a few accounts passed before you start to trade them. That way you don't trade scared. Because a lot of people, myself included, way back when, I would pass an account and it'd be my only account, and then I would trade scared. Why was I scared? Because I was like, oh, I don't want to lose this account because then I have to go through the test phase again. And then on top of that, so it eliminates that, whereas if you're like, well, I don't have to worry about it because I have other accounts waiting for me. Okay, now I'm not going to trade scared. But it also reduces the temptation to want to reset a pro account. Because if all you have is one account and then you blow it, the temptation to reset that pro is going to be very strong. And I'm telling you right now, like I said, if you're just patient, you're like, well, wait a second, let me take that money that I could be tempted in to reset a pro, and let me just use that to buy 5 or 6 test accounts right now to build up my stable. So again, within the analogy, a test account is your horse. the racehorse is a pass test. So why don't I just spend that same amount, buy 5 or 6 horses, and seeing if I can get 2 or 3 of these, trained up into a racehorse. And then all of a sudden, now you have 3 pro accounts instead of just potentially one that, again, face it, if which you have a high likelihood of roasting. Because in your mind, you're like, holy crap, that was expensive. I need to get that money back. But also, you're probably already angry and upset because you blew the pro account, so you're on tilt. So now you're on tilt. You just spent way more money than you actually needed to, so you want to get that money back. So, I mean, is it possible? Of course, anything's possible. But, like, to me, it's worth just setting some time up front, taking the extra time to build up some past accounts, because with Take Profit Trader, the nice thing is just because you pass an account, you do not have to activate it right away. So you could let that account just sit there for months and months and months if you so choose. I understand racehorse model does not work at all prop firms because some prop firms either are continually charging you for the account or that you have to activate it right away, but not so with Take Profit Trader. Once you pass the test account, all costs go away. There are no more costs, but you also don't have to activate it right away either. Yeah, if that helps, dummy, then more power to you. For me, when I'm on tilt, that's not good for me because I still want to be making progress. And that's why, at least with the test account, you're still making progress towards getting that one passed and then eventually a payout. But like I said, if it is good enough for you, dummy, to just go and hop in the flat out demo, good for you. Sounds complicated. It's not. What is complicated about passing more than one test account before you start trading? Like, let me put it this way, Eli Mark. If the concept of passing more than one test account before you start trading your past accounts is too complicated for you, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'd like to save you money and a headache, trading will not be for you. Because this is what I thought was a very basic concept. Just get a couple, 2 or 3 accounts passed before you start worrying about trading the pro accounts. No, I do not. Hello, KD. Hey, where have you been, KDA? Eli Mark, I mean, I recognize your name, so this is one of those confusing things where I'm like, I recognize the guy's name. He's been here before. Have you not been to their website, or I don't understand? Do you really pass TPT accounts in 5 days? Well, I mean, I'm not saying this is how you should go about it, but I mean, I passed accounts in 2 days before. 2 days? You went super aggressive, didn't you? Yep, I did. I've also roasted test accounts in about 4 seconds. So, like, but yeah, sure, it's possible. But you know what? RSI scalper, good for you. If it's taking you 3 weeks, cool, man. As long as I always say aim to pass within 1 month. Because every month is when they're going to charge you during the test phase. Because during the test phase, it is technically a subscription. So they're going to charge you every month. So that's why I say don't rush, but aim to pass within 1 month. So good job, RSI scalper. If it took you 3 weeks, cool. You didn't rush, but you still got it done within the month. Perfect. What is my primary strategy? The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. That's why I don't use those 3 letters that you talked about, because I'm too stupid to understand what any of that stuff even means. To me, it's just a bunch of abbreviations and overly complicated words, which my baboon brain cannot keep up with. So I use the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. I like some moving averages. I like the VWAP. I like some trend lines. And I love me some candlesticks. But I have no fancy terminology. I have no cool abbreviations. Hey, I love to hear it, KDA. A man with a side hustle, let's go. I'm up 4,500 on day 1 after needing... Oh, browser. You should go back. Oh crap, 18-minute mark. Yeah, 18-minute mark of this stream. I go over my day, and I had something pretty similar. Spoiler alert. I was also close 2 passing test account today, and yeah. Anyways, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to relive it again. Very easy to do both. Yes, exactly, Richard. So from what I've learned so far is risk management. Yes, correct. And the best form of risk management is just the prop account itself, because you are insulated where even the dumbest of decisions that you can make, yes, you'll blow up your account, but instead of costing you potentially the thousands of dollars, or if you made that exact same mistake with your own funds in a prop account, you'll lose the account, but given you only paid a couple hundred at most, that's all you're out. Just found you in my feed, getting set up with a Schwab account. Now the other trader. Yeah, so Nicole, I'm glad, welcome to be here. I would encourage you to consider not trading stocks. I know the pattern day trading rule is different now, but I think we are in the golden age for day traders, and the golden age for day traders is to day trade futures through a prop firm. Because first off, even in futures, there's no pattern day trading rule. Well, Clay, they just changed it. Fine, but like there is still a pattern day trading rule in stocks and options. In futures, there's no pattern day trading rule. Not to mention futures move way better than stocks anyways. And then you factor in the prop firm and the way that it helps manage risk. So Nicole, I would encourage you to consider, and that's what I do here, to consider day trading futures through a prop account. First time in a year, I went back to trade micro MES because, yeah, well, good call, Black Magic. I'm guessing that was kind of probably a little difficult, but at some point you're like, maybe I need to just chill out a little bit. Also, Ross, oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, wash sale, there's just, well, Nikolai, let me ask you this. So you trade stocks right now. What do you use as your tool for decisions? Are you using charts to make your decisions for stocks? So looking like potential channel now that we're in. Right there. Now, don't get me wrong. The range of the channel is like 130 points. So I'm not saying it's impossible to make any money in the channel. Again, it's a 130-point range. But this area up here does seem to be the top. And then down here we have that big old chunk. And then right here it got close, but didn't exactly hit it. So those are the two main. In fact, I'll just map them out here. Two main areas I'm watching right now. Yeah, trading view charts, but still. Okay, well, Nikolai, the good news is if you use charts, that's just futures too. A lot of people think, oh great, well I don't have time to learn futures. Where do I learn how to trade futures? Like, well, do you already know how to trade charts? Yeah, okay, well then you're 97% of the way there. The final 3% is just understanding how points work in the sense of, so you can calculate profit and loss. But the points are very straightforward. So yeah, don't fret like, okay, so I got to go start all over and learn about what futures are and how to, no, they're just charts. Went through all of them, stocks, options, and futures. Yeah, thank you, Kona. Yes, as somebody that's come from the world of stocks and options and as somebody that's a stubborn donkey and have had people for years tell me, Clay, you should go up to futures. And now with prop firms, yeah, I mean, the math makes it a pretty airtight argument as far as I'm concerned. Check out the 5-minute trend line. Oh, Duck Soul. I don't know if I want to draw that. It's a good trend line. I don't know if I want to draw it, though. I don't want to be suckered into... Well, it's not really suckered in. I don't want to be tempted. I don't know if I want to be tempted. I'm assuming that's the trend line you're talking about. I don't know if I want to be tempted there. Maybe I should be tempted, though, Maybe that would be one of those good temptations. Yeah, I don't know, Rookie. I agree. A lot of people chiming in. Good participation, but... Well, I think part of it was somebody showed up and, hey, Clay, I'm new. Any advice? Said they want to be a day trader. And then from there... They started to be like, thanks a lot to you. I just lost all my money. It's like, okay, well, that was a weird troll. But I identified it very quickly and we moved on. So that's part of it. I recognized it quickly and we went from there. I'm going to delete that out just because that seems relatively obvious. The person you mentioned, props to them, has a huge stream. So yeah, yes, he makes. Oh, maybe you mean from the trading, because we have different risk tolerances. I mean, that's very easy. Why does such and such make way more money than you? Well, because I just have I have a different risk tolerance compared to them. That's it. Again, as I've said a million times, Mostafa, there are people here that are like, I want to copy trade 30, 40 accounts. And I'm like, cool. That's not something I could ever do. That would freak me out beyond like my mental capability. I would not be able to handle that just because to me, that sounds like the craziest thing ever. Is it the craziest thing ever? No, it's just a question of personal risk tolerance. That's all. Right? We talked about this earlier. Somebody says, hey, how do I have fun? I want to learn how to have fun. Somebody could tell you to go skydiving. Somebody else could tell you to read a book. Is either of that bad advice? No. That just shows that we all have different risk tolerances. But yeah, that would be why. He has a way different risk tolerance than I do, and more power to him. Just like those of you that hear that are like, Clay, I don't understand what the big deal of copy trading, 20, 30 accounts. Hey, I'll admit I'm a little jealous. I wish my brain kind of operated. But I'm the slow and steady. I'm actually quite risk adverse. But yeah, that was a long answer of just saying we have different risk tolerances. I'm very stupid. I would agree, brother. Yeah, it takes time, but there's also this though. This is because futures move and move so quick. In all actuality, it's not an issue. But like in the prop firm space, if it's taking you more than a month to pass an account, there's something off. It should not take that long. Why? Because futures move so quickly. Like a month is more than enough time. In other words, if you're doing prop firms and then you come up like, yeah, I'm averaging 3 months to pass one account, the cost that you have in, it's like $100. So like you're risking $100, but then you're using 3 months when only $100 is on the line. There starts to become a detachment between time and then like the value of the risk action. Now, if you have $100,000 at risk, then by all means, if you got to take 3 months to make sure that you don't cook that 100, take your time, brother. Take your time. But like that's not so. And I don't have any hardcore numbers on like where that is, but there is a component where time is money, and you really, like I said, if you buy an account for $100, like it's only $100 at risk. So get a little bit of, well, not to mention if you take 6 months, that's 6 more payments. Now all of a sudden your risk is higher. So it's just like. It's one of those things where you don't want to rush. I'm not saying to pass anything within a day, within 2 days, within a week. But a month is reasonable. And the reason why it's reasonable is because futures are awesome and futures move very quickly. But yes, I hesitate on my words because I don't have any studies, but I don't see somebody being profitable per se if you're taking 3-4 months to pass like a 50K challenge. I guess in theory it's possible, but then it's like when you look back at the numbers and you're like, okay, so your hourly rate that you're making for yourself, I don't know. The numbers break down at some point. But if you're going to ask me, okay, Clay, so at what point does it become kind of you're wasting your time? I don't have an exact number for that. But there is a point out there where it's just like, okay, I would argue that if you're taking 6 months to pass a 50K account, you are wasting your time. Within the numbers that are being risked in the prop firm space, if all you have is $100 at risk and then you're taking 6 months to pass, it's like, Agreed. Unless you're a brand new trader. And that factors into it, but still, even well, first off, I guess that depends on how you define brand new trader. So let me put it this way. If you've gone through my mentorship, I would say no. You should not be spending 6 months because you will be educated, you will be trained, you will know what to look for, etc. Where you will, again, I'm not saying therefore you're going to pass on your first try, but like something like that, I guess it's a question of, is that person brand new? Somebody that has gone through my mentorship, are they brand new? Well, they're brand new in the sense of maybe they've never actually put on a trade before, so they're brand new in that regard, but they are definitely way more experienced than somebody that has put on 100 trades, but they're building bad habits. They don't even really know what they're doing. They're learning all the wrong lessons. So, yeah. But that's a deeper philosophical, like, well, what does brand new mean? Because I would, if we're defining that as they've never made a trade before, well then fine. But I wouldn't define that as brand new. Brad, go back to the 18-minute mark. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go back and relive it all, brother. 18-minute mark, I talk about my day. I give context. No, I'm fine, rookie. So you have to prove yourself in a prop account to start trading with your funds. Is that... Yeah, essentially, yes. But the proving yourself to them is actually a good way because they're forcing you to have some proof of concepts. Now, it's not perfectly flawless, but like it is, and this is what makes trading hard. It's possible to act like the biggest moron ever in the market and walk away with making money. Now, can you do that consistently? No. But that is what a prop firm will force you to do as a newer trader. Like, cool story, you made a winning trade here. But yeah, but can you do it enough to at least make this amount before you don't lose this amount? So a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people, like, they say the rules are bad, and it depends on what prop firm you're talking about. Well, Take Profit Trader, I think test phases are very good. They can offer a proof of concept. And that's why I would say, just because you pass one test, I would say, again, this only works, or I don't know, but this doesn't necessarily work with all prop firms, but the way Take Profit is set up, because you don't have to pay anymore, and because there's no requirement that you have to activate an account right away, like I would say, okay, great, you passed an account, do it again. So just let that one sit there, aka you now have a racehorse, but just put the racehorse in the stable. Do it again. Prove to yourself that you didn't just get lucky there. Let's see if you can do this and maybe start to build up a proof of concept. And then who knows, maybe you pass that one. Okay, I'm getting closer to convinced that maybe you have a valid strategy, but pass again. Let's see. And then if you pass again, guess what? Again, I'm not saying that you're guaranteed. There you go. You have it all figured out. But does it make sense to start to think, okay, I think I got some stuff figured out? Sure. You have data. You have 3 past tests. And now if you go and start to trade those one at a time, you're not going to be trading scared because you're not going to be worried, oh, if I blow it, then I have to go through the test phase again because you already had the one sitting there. Hey, thank you, Demi D. I appreciate that. Very much so. So that is one of the things where, like I said, if you've passed your first ever prop account, and this could be with other prop firms, I'm just saying numbers-wise, you got to be careful because you don't want to sit there and be paying all this extra money because the account's just sitting there and you're not using it. But again, with Take Profit Trader, that's not a threat. But with Take Profit Trader, you pass your first ever account, that's great, do it again. Prove to yourself that you didn't just luck out. Build some proof of concept. And I mean, the amount of benefits from that are amazing. You're getting a proof of concept. You're trying to hedge the fact that maybe you just got lucky. Not to mention, you're just getting more pro accounts. Clay, do you ever use the vol? I do not. Nope. So yes, if you are a beginner of the prop firm space, take Profit Trader. Just go with them because of their clean set of rules. That does not mean that all their prop firms are bad, but other prop firms, they start to get, you have consistency rules and scaling rules and scalping rules. Some of them have higher commissions. Trading on a live account today. Will you? I disagree with that choice, but all right. I'm on right here. The 2-minute time frame. It also shows it right up there, 2M. But I do have other time frames off screen too. Not a whole lot to work with right now. We're just, let me put it this way. This is not like Friday's action. Friday's action, man, we are in the thick, all price all over the place. Yeah, Bronson, yep. And then you can build up to 5 accounts if you ever want to copy trade. Then you can have 5 accounts at once. So for those of you that are like, what's copy trading? Well, for a Take Profit Trader, you can copy trade up to 5 accounts. Meaning if you make one trade and on that trade you make $100, but you copied it to your 4 other accounts, well, now you're walking away with $500 because each one of those accounts made the $100. And if you can have 5 of those, so now, of course, the downside is if you, on that one account, you start to go into baboon mode and you act like a total moron, you're copying all those decisions to those 4 other accounts. So give and take with that, with everything, but I prefer to just cook for one. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, give and take, right? If you, like, well, Clay, so you're telling me I could buy 5 test accounts right now, copy trade them, and then I could quickly pass 5 accounts. Yes, I'm saying that. But again, to make sure we're well-rounded in our understanding, you could also cook 5 accounts just like that too. Iran top negotiators threatens to defeat U.S. blockade on Iran. Okay, well, nobody cares about. Thank you, Homer. I'm not saying we don't care about your comment. I'm just saying per the market and the movement, nobody cares about that news. Clay, what's your proof on that? Well, do we see any huge movement right now in either direction? No. So the market does not really seem to believe that, care about whatever word you want to use. All I know is that basically zero action with that news. Is this a true breakout of this channel? I might take a swing at it. See if I can get some more momentum here. Okay, I'm in. Try to buy like a little bit of a micro pullback right there. This is called MNQ, which is basically the NASDAQ. I'm trading NASDAQ futures right now for simplicity's sake. I don't trust it. All right, well, I hope your trust meter is broken right now for my sake. Is that normal? My live account is. Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I've never used Apex, so I can't really weigh in on that. I'm out for short 10 points. All right. I have been converted. I don't think I can go back to MES. What did you trade it converted? What, the MNQ? I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know. That to me that's a hard jump. Like you get a taste of how nice MNQ can move, and going back to again, I'm not saying you're wrong. For the record, if you trade MES, I have no problem. At least you're trading a very liquid market. A lot of liquidity in the market. A lot of buyers and sellers. Now, if you're trading like orange juice contracts, it's like I don't know. Like I think you could probably do a little bit better. Because we want smooth moving markets. And you get smooth moving markets when there's lots of buyers and sellers. Oh, it's been 2 weeks? Oh yeah, you ain't going back. You ain't going back, brother. Welcome to the MNQ family. You're mine now, boy. That's what the MNQ is saying to you. You're mine now. Yeah, I saw that rule change. Yep. Yeah, think what Phil said. Yes. I was so scared of it first. It does bite. Oh. Well, everything bites. Some things just tend to bite a little quicker and a little harder. Well, I bought what I was hoping was a quick little micro pullback before I could get more momentum. And I was wrong in that regard. But the overall chart hasn't done anything wrong. Just because something doesn't break out and go right away, I'm willing to give it a little bit of time. No, MNQ is not crack. You want to know what crack was? That was silver. Silver was flat out drugs. And for all of you that were around, I don't know, time flies. So I want to say 3 months ago, but maybe it was even back further than that. You guys know what crack, like legit, looks like if you were around for the silver futures. That was just next level. Yeah, it was. Silver was just flat out. Like, I got addicted to it, and I had to break my addiction to it. Thankfully, it really slowed down, which helped break the addiction in and of itself. But man, had it stayed like it was, man, it was. I got addicted. I did. When was that though? So time flies. I want to see 3 months. So that puts us back in March, early March. Is that when silver was in its crackhead method, or was that even back further than that? Please don't say, dude, Clay, that was like 4 years ago. Time doesn't fly that much, does it? I had to put the silver patch on my left butt cheek. Yeah. Okay, so 3 months is within the realm then. Crap. See, this is how easy it is. In my mind, this entire time, like I'm paying attention, but I'm not, because in my mind, it's like, oh, it's 3MNQ. But look at this. Yeah. 3MNQ, but we're in a volatile day. Again, it really still hasn't done anything. Okay, now it's starting to do stuff wrong. All right, I'm going to try this. Add some more if it wants to come up off of this area, but it's getting close to where I'm going to have to wave the white flag. Man, that's disappointing. Neil, good call. Neil did not trust it, and he was right. I trade the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I like candlesticks. I like some moving averages. I like the VWAP. Like some trend lines. But I have no fancy terminology. I don't have any cool abbreviations. Because again, I'm stupid. So I need to keep it simple for myself. My wheel, careful, Jan. Yeah, I'm about to. Dang, I just gave back all these games almost. That is wild. All right, I gotta get it. That's wild. That's what I mean. That is why on days like today, it is shockingly quick. How fast the position. No, all right. Okay. Gonna come right back up, huh? Okay, I'm in. Come on, let's go now. Maybe. Come on now. Let's see some upwards movement here. Come on, hammer. I looked at the P&L. I just P&L traded. Sorry. That's bad. That's bad. I always, well, for me, it's bad. Because if I look at the P&L, meaning this number down here, it makes it very difficult to follow the chart. And I saw it. I'm like, dang, I'm already up $100. All right, I'll just take that. So that was not good. That was not good. Oh, no, that wasn't a revenge trade. That's things. You always have to remember. Now, if you're coming from the world of just remembering the pattern day trader rule and crap, I don't want to burn a day trade, blah, 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 then I understand where some of these hesitations come from. But that because there's no pattern day trader rule in futures, it doesn't matter. You can always get back in. So yes, I hopped out because I didn't know if this was a big dump. But then when it started showing me, okay, I guess it's not a big dump, you can always get back in. You always have to remember that. You can always get back in. There's no rule that says just because you hop out and you take a loss doesn't mean that you can't hop back in if you need to. No, yes, that is a fine line with revenge trading, but I wouldn't call that a revenge trade. And in my defense, I mean, it worked out nice. All right, John, have a good one. I might try again long if this thing can come back up. That's we'll be looking at a nice little couple hammers in a row here. And the reason why I added 6 was because I was thinking about adding anyways. So I would have been at 6 had I been able to add. So that is where the 6 came from. So I just kind of put myself back in the trade as if I had just been able to add. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but in my little dented mind, it does. So I'm short 100 with a... All right, Matt, I appreciate you sharing, brother. That's right there. That is not lip flapping. He's given us an observation, but along with the observation, giving us a trade plan. Yeah, exactly, W4. Was zero worries about, okay, do I really want to use another day trade here? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. I think I got to try another long. Well, you know what? If you fool me here, then more power to you, market. More power to you. Back-to-back hammers right here. If this is going to all of a sudden just come down, I will just have to not tip my cap to you. Because this is a nice-looking setup right now from the long side. At least for me it is. Why? Why would, Ben Moore, why would people start to trade? Wait, let me check this guy's profile. That sounds very rage baity. No. Why would people go and trade? Again, the problem with day trading options has never really been the pattern day trading rule. It's been theta. Theta is the part about options that makes no sense. No, you're not. I checked your profile. I thought maybe, but no. Okay, I took one out. Come on. Let's get. Uh-oh. Ooh. Ooh. How about you start pushing up? How about that? How about that? How about you push up? Oh, I better be. Right, Ben, but the point is, that's why around here we say to day trade futures in a prop firm. Because there's literally zero pattern day trader rule. Not to mention there is still pattern day trader rule in stocks, and it's less. It's $2,000 now, but like I said, again, the problem that I have, and I think the math suggests makes it very obvious about day trading options, is theta. Like there's no theta in futures. What's theta? It's something that makes day trading options very counterproductive, very inefficient. But Clay, I make money day. I never said you couldn't make money day trading options. I said you're working inefficiently. I'm saying you're making your job. You're working harder, not smarter. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, brothers and sisters and furries. Are you going to make the push or not? I mean, I'm loving the setup, but all right, on the 5 minute, we're kind of bumping her. All right, I'm going to take one out there. Why? Well, because shame on me, I didn't notice it until now, but see how we're bumping our head right there on the 50 SMA? So that's a very legitimate area where maybe we never do get a push. Maybe it gets rejected back down, hence why I took another one out, and we'll see what happens. Maybe in your private chat room, I just know you were like, well, yeah, I mean, I've traded options, but I haven't traded options now for over 2 years. Again, just the math. The math is not there. And I will say it is so nice to not have to sweat bullets about needing to get essentially a perfect entry point because of theta. All right, I'm cutting it. I don't want to get stuck in a little back and forth chop fest here. I thought this was good enough for me where it would want to curl back upwards a little quicker. So it still might curl up, but my timing was off. Now you're all right, Ben. Bronson nailed it. Agreed. What Bronson said is that, yeah, exactly. Trading is already hard enough. Adding in that like little ticking clock, just exactly. It's already hard enough. Why are we introducing even more variables that make it harder? And this variable being theta. Exactly. Right. So the J's, but you just strategy hopped on us. My argument about trading futures through a prop firm, I try my best to always emphasize day trading because that's what category I'm in. What you just talked about in terms of a good income strategy, I agree with. However, that's now in the category of like investing. I'm all for options in the world of investing. Yeah. Covered calls, cash secured puts. There's all sorts of cool stuff you can do in the category of investing with options. But yeah, that's why in the category of day trading, options are garbage. Garbage. Why do rocket science when you can do algebra? Yeah, I like that. That's exactly. But you can't get liquidated like on futures. You can 100% get liquidated. Yeah, you can definitely get liquidated. But all your base, let me translate this for you, Black Magic. But you can't hold in hope. Okay, let me put it this way. But you can hold in hope, unlike futures or CFDs. That's what you're saying. But at least options allow you to hold in hope. Now, my question is, that is true. And yes, using your own funds, doing those sorts of things, if you are allowed to hold in hope, there will be trades that you'll come out profitable. Whereas the futures prop firm trader will say, no, that was game over for me. That is true. I cannot argue to the counter. That part is true. However, holding and hoping is a bad habit that, and I'm not asking you to trust me either. Well, please don't go experience it for yourself, but maybe other people can chime in. But holding and hoping is a bad habit, will eventually bite you and bite you very, very hard. Right, but Black Magic, exactly. I mean, if there's a big wick short term, you can survive. Again, let me translate that. But if there's a big wick short term, you can hold in hope. That's what you mean. But what I'm saying is sometimes a big wick doesn't turn into a wick. It turns into a big red candle or a big green candle. And if you're holding and hoping for the wick to show up and no wick shows up, adios, muchacho. That's what I'm saying. You're proving my point. Yes. Using your own funds. Yes, stocks or yes, options will allow you to bend the rules, hold and hope, blah, 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 which will sometimes save you. It will. But the times where it doesn't save you, it gets really bad. Okay, well, that's fine. You can think that. But I disagree that holding and hoping, that's not trading. That's degenerate gambling at that point. Yeah, if you're going to hold and hope, well, I mean, this, I would hope, is across the board. Like, you should never use don't use your rent money. But yeah, holding and hoping you're never going to be a viable trader, though. There is no strategy called the hold and hope that is viable. Now, could a hold and hope get you to like a 90% win rate? Sure. I don't have any problem saying that. The problem is that 10% gets really bad for the hold and hoper when the hold and hope does not work out. I appreciate that. There you go. I appreciate that transparency. That's kind of the point. I lost 4,500 holding hoping on Friday, so don't take advice from me. I respect because yeah. Yes, hold and hope is a strategy, just not a good one. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's using it as a lotto ticket. All I'm saying is there are better lotto tickets out there. Well, what's a better lotto ticket? Those that don't have theta. I mean, if you're in the market to play lotto tickets, so you're like, Clay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sort of a degenerate. So I'm not here really to try to be responsible because, Clay, I have plenty of extra money. I sell meatloaf at the bake sale every week, and it's highly profitable. So I'm just here because I want to make degenerate gambles. Like, how do I get maximum dopamine spikes? I would not tell that person to go trade options. I'd be like, listen, brother, I want you to go buy 5 150K accounts on Take Profit Trader. And then I want you to copy trade those, and I want you to max them out. Brother, you're going to be cracking all kinds of acorns. So yeah, I mean, if you're here for lottery tickets, okay, that's fine. I'm here to gamble. I want, what's the funnest way to gamble? Start copy trading. Max size. Woo! Is there a difference between hoping and believing? No. I mean, we all hope, right? When I enter into a trade, I hope that my edge works out. But the problem becomes when either there's no strategy or you start to break rules, right? Okay, crap, it just went below my stop or I canceled my stop. Now you're holding, and now you're hoping that that's where hoping becomes bad. That's why I just laugh when people are like, "Oh, well, I'm here to just gamble, and I like small low floats." I'm like, dude, let me show you how to get even better adrenaline spikes. Now you're gonna get cooked, right? But if you're looking for adrenaline spikes, and who knows, you never know, some big numbers. Hey. So even day trading futures through a prop firm is the best way for degenerate gamblers because of the copy trading feature. There you go. There you go. Let's crack some acorns. Let's crack some walnuts. Let's make some Chex Mix. Gambling is only fun when you're winning. Honest question is somebody that I would, I've never been to Las Vegas. But, let's say, somebody that would say, I am a gambler. But or maybe this is where somebody's a degenerate or an addict. But, don't some people maybe still even get pleasure from, they don't care if they win or lose. They just care that they are gambling. I don't know. This is a genuine question. So I don't know if everybody would agree that gambling is only fun when you're winning. Would some people say gambling is always fun because I'm gambling? I don't care about the outcomes, but I'm gambling, therefore it is fun. Okay, well, not you. Fair enough. I'm just saying in general. That's right. You can't win if you don't play. Brother, 4NQ. Brother, what are we doing with their lives? I mean, if they want adrenaline, let's give them adrenaline. Hop on over here to Take Profit Trader. You know, get 5 of these, which allow you to buy up to 15 NQs per account. So let's just do some basic math. I think it's 75, but I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? That's not my calculator. Okay, confirmed I am an idiot. But like, brother, you can do 15 on 5 accounts. So 15 times 5 accounts, that's definitely not 75. It is 70. Anyways, it's been a long stream, brothers and sisters and furries. There you go. Why aren't we doing 75 NQs? What are you talking about this 4 NQ nonsense? Huh? Are we here to crack some walnuts or not, brother? Are we here to dirty some underwear or not, brother? Are we here to cause traders to use, well, the people that want to gamble, are we here to cause them to use this or not, brother? What are we doing? Let's give good advice. If somebody says, I'm a degenerate, tell me where to get the dopamine. Let's give them the dopamine. That's all I'm saying. And that's all math. It's just math at the end of the day. Math will lead us to dopamine. Now, I don't think you should be a degenerate. I think you should treat this seriously. I think you should try to, create multiple streams of income. But if you show up and say, by golly, Clay, I sell that meatloaf at the local bake sale every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and I can make all kinds of cash, my buttermilk biscuit meatloaf is the best one, and I'm looking here to degen, then let the fella degen. Let's help him out. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that's too complicated. Hey, Ethan, good to see you. Well, we are finally breaking out. I just don't know if this is a trustworthy breakout or not. So, yeah. Dang, I thought that little story, I thought that'd get a little bit more laughs. Tough crowd. Crazy. Hey, good to see you, by the way, Ethan. Good to see you. And that's right. Use code Clay, all caps, for your dopamine. It gives the best dopamine. No, there's not, Drew. So that's what I was saying earlier. The racehorse model and why a lot of this stuff can work out really well with proof of concept and these other topics is based on that fact that after you pass, there are no more monthly fees. So if you were to pull up Take Profit Trader's site and you see this per month, it's like, well, per month, it's like only during the test phase. Again, which is why aim to pass within, so we can, aim to pass within 1 month. Because after you pass, and which is what Drew's asking about, this goes away. There are no more fees. Therefore, that is ultimately your total risk, 119 for that account. Got me and my wife. All right, good. I'm glad I got a couple people laughing. I thought my buttermilk biscuit meatloaf was kind of clever. Tough crowd, though. Crazy. I like you and your wife, though. That's good stuff. You're welcome, Drew. Code Clay. Please consider it. Code Clay, all caps. Feed some hungry children. Yeah, so on that note, code Clay with any of these prop firms, as we've been talking about, I recommend Take Profit Trader. I think all prop firm traders should have them part of your arsenal. Now, if you're a beginner, I think you should just start with them due to their clean set of rules. But I do understand some people are wanting to build empires, trade across multiple prop firms. But code Clay, all caps, whatever the promotions are at any of these prop firms will give you that deal. And it just helps support the stream. So if you, this is completely viewer supported. There are no sponsorships, so if you want to keep it ad-free and then just flat out keep the stream going, then Code Clay directly contributes to both of those things. So I'm going to go ahead, and by the way, when I say feeds hungry children, I have 6 children. They are hungry, so those are the children that you are feeding. So it's not a lie. You are feeding. Code Clay does feed hungry children. They just happen to be my children. But so that is, I don't know. Is it? I need to just call it good. I think rehab session went well today. So yeah, I'm going to just call it good. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Hit that like button if you have not yet on your way out. And I'll be back tomorrow at the very latest, 11 a.m. Eastern. And so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can be, usually I show up early. So if you want to know exactly when I go live, then like I said, turn on notifications will help in that regard. So thank you. This was a fun one. The day started off bad. Again, you can go back to the 18-minute mark and learn more about that. But as always, you guys were fun to hang out with. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. So take care, everybody. Have a good one. Code Clay, all caps. Hit that like button. See everybody back tomorrow. Take